It's gonna be a quick one, y'all. All right. So, Divine Feminine School. This is the first segment of it. This is a little bit of an introduction of it. Moving forward. All right. So basically, the Divine Feminine School is you listening to audio, you listening to other channels. The thing about it is, I'm going to fill out, try to get to those channels, watch those people, and even if you want to join their Patreon, I'm going to drop all that information in the box. Therefore, it makes it easier, and I won't get copyright, and also it won't be a problem. Make sure I tell you guys to like and subscribe to their channel, and probably mainly be 2 people, maybe 3. Okay, and that way it won't have to be such an issue. Divine Feminine School is basically a school of teaching for my women out there, for yourself, lessons for yourself, as well as for men to understand the divine feminine energy. And when he is in the presence of one, or if he wants to attract one, and this is the way he can manifest it. Uh, divine feminine energy is not something that's recognized by anybody. You have to be somebody who's ready, who is already on the wave of the divine feminine energy. Divine feminine energy can also attract men who would want to abuse or hurt her or destroy her or this type of thing. So it's like a lot of different ways in which you have to understand how to walk around in this life with this type of energy. And a lot of times you may deal with jealousy from either your own parents, family members, people you don't know. You don't really care for jealousy with strangers and envy and stuff, but you get it mostly from you in your own bloodline. And sad to say, it happens. As a divine feminine, you gotta also understand that uh you you got rules. You got little rules and things that you're gonna have to learn so that you don't fall into the okie doke, or you don't fall into feeling like you're stupid or I made a horrible mistake. There's a lot of things you have to face in the divine feminine school. It's not for the faint of heart. And a lot of things is in your face. A lot of it is note taking. A lot of it is learning. And there's days I may discuss, there's days that I don't. I actually plan to have it so I don't have to talk too much. I'll just turn on the audio and we just kind of let it play. Or I just take one audio. I'm very good for that. One audio and dissect what's being said in one audio. That's how you learn. That's how you do your observation first and then get into your analysis. So that's what the Divine Feminine School is about, observation and analysis. We will also use examples. Now, because we are in a broad YouTube platform setting, um, there are things that I'm going to start sampling. There's things I'm going to start just getting clips of and doing things like that for the Patreon, because the Patreon is where I really get raw behind the scenes, where I really tap in a little bit more of examples and pictures and videos and doing observation and analysis for women to understand and see things. Even go as far as text messages and lessons from text messages and stuff like that, while covering people's names and stuff. I saw an old phone I had, and I was like, damn, I want to go through that bitch and see who was I entertaining at that time in my life when I had this phone. But for some reason, I could not charge that phone. I was like, okay, it's not meant. It's meant for me to let this phone go. But I really came to an idea like, damn, I need to just see what kind of text message or what kind of lessons, you see what I'm saying? Because that's how we all learn. That's how we all could get this. But then that can come with time with Patreon members who can show me text messages. Of course, we're going to cover names and stuff like that to give an example of how to dissect, game playing or dissect, uh, just not having your time so wasted. Divine Feminine School is also teaching you how to be out here in the field, and how to communicate and understand. Sometimes I'm not going to hold you. Sometimes I want to practice. I want to practice. I want to take a mail and just be like, let me just talk to this mail and just text this person, call this person, see what this person wants, and just kind of just have a way of like, let me practice what I talk about. Let me practice these things I learn. Let me see how this goes. Let me, you know, I do be feeling like that sometimes because that's just who I am. I like to experience things and write about it and come back to it. I could be a lab rat to that capacity. But then it's like energetically, I don't want nobody in my way, for what I really am out here vibrating to. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want nobody in the way. And sometimes I think about going on a dating site and changing up my bio and watching and changing my picture up and watching exactly who responds to my bio, how they respond, and what they say to my bio. So sometimes I do want to do that as well. So I'm going to go ahead and start this off before I start a video. I'm going to start this off with number one, uh, the DM world of things. It's it's time to not respond to those. Okay, I'm going to get into the spiritual, energetic aspect of how things work and why you need to pay attention. People tend to tell you that social media is not real. No, social media is very real. It's just that you have to know what to dissect what in social media when you live in a reality, when you live in this real world. Now, what am I saying? Is what I'm saying is you understand that social media puts a place for people to skip steps. Okay, social media is a place where people can skip steps, as well as where people can 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 use you, can find a way in to use you, or find a way in to manipulate. So what does that mean? You have to first of all watch your aura. You have to catch yourself. What does that mean? When you are in a public content creating setting, you have to know what position you hold. I talk about this so much and why it's important to know that. The moment you know you're a content creator, the moment that you know that you are out here doing something, you have to change your caliber of who you communicate with in your inbox. Okay? You have to change that caliber. Meaning if you don't see a verification code, I don't care if you are a verified account and you don't have your badge no more, you're still a verified account. It don't fucking matter. If they don't have a verification next to their name, if you don't see consistent content on their page, that's not, because nobody can catfish their content. It's you can pay attention and find a catfish. Um, Also, how are they communicating with you when they come into your inbox? Okay, and there's a lot of other little intricate things that can tell you someone's extreme hidden agenda. You have to know also, as a public person, that you can be watched, you can be listened to. You see, like being here in this type of space, I can be watched, I can be listened to before anybody meets me. And so I always keep that in mind. I tell you also to keep in mind, if you're in a public space like this, don't ever doubt who may know who you are. Always have it in your mind that everybody knows who the fuck you are. I don't give a fuck. That lady that get an attitude with you for no reason, that person that work that's acting weird towards you, that neighbor, you never that motherfucker probably listened to your whole entire podcast, seen your pictures, probably seen you on a yacht. You understand? Probably dancing in the club. Always know that somebody has seen you. And I know it sounds strange. It sounds strange, but it's not strange because you're out there and you're in a public setting and you're doing this and you're not afraid. It doesn't matter if you don't show your face. If somebody knows your voice or knows what you look like, they know it's you. Like it's there's no denying it unless you completely switch your AI voice or something like that. But see, that's something I've never done. That didn't exist. That type of voice exchange didn't exist. I had a clueless phone where you can talk on a clueless phone and the voice would change up on a clueless phone. But other than that, it's just that didn't exist. Do I still have that phone? I think I do. And so understand that these type of life experiences have taught me what it has taught me. The Divine Feminine School, you see the 9 in there, which is the mind, which is we're going to get into intellectual topics, analytical, practical topics that you can utilize in your life. Now, everything I talk about, you can utilize in your life. This in particular is going to be a dissective class. Like I said, there'll be like one video, and I'll take that one video and dissect the shit out of that one video, and we'll build from that one video over and over again for another hour. Because that's teaching you also how I research, how I analyze things, how I take notes, how I apply, and most of all, how I journal. Yes, the homework that these 3 people that I'll be showing you throughout the course, and it might be more people, but it's probably going to be the main 3. The homework that you're given is really homework that will help you journal and heal and fix whatever you need to fix in your life. Okay. I also want to say that um, there's another aspect of I have come to take very serious the information that I have gathered for myself and how I share it. You know, I used to be a very, very big gatekeeper of information. Sometimes I would share, but I have became such a gatekeeper. And as time has gone on, I'm like, you know what? There's information out there that needs to be said. There's information that I get downloaded that needs to be talked about. There's just things that needs to be put out there on this microphone. And the more and more that I start to do that, the more and more wisdom starts to come to me, and the more and more wisdom I begin to have for my life. So I see the benefits in actually speaking out and sharing this information in this very private type setting, and of course a very Patreon type setting, because what's happening is it's all about uh wisdom. It's all about helping you. So I'm going to go ahead and I am going to play Xpimp, and we're going to play Why Men Respect Women Who Do Not Feel That Awkward Space. And we're going to talk about that awkward space. I'm going to go ahead and have that play. All right. Him and the Russian big sister, or the unknown siren, that was her name before. They have very similar pages. So I'm going to go ahead and play this.
Silence is where weak people panic. That is the entire thesis. If you understand nothing else in this video, understand this. Silence is not empty. Silence is pressure. And pressure reveals hierarchy faster than any conversation ever could. Most women think awkward silence is something to fix. Men know it is something to survive. That difference alone determines who is respected and who is slowly discounted. Here is the hook you need to hear before you click away. Men do not respect the woman who makes them comfortable. They respect the woman who makes them aware. Awareness sharpens men. Comfort dulls them. And nothing dulls a man faster than a woman who cannot sit inside tension without bleeding words. The woman who fills silence teaches a man something dangerous. She teaches him that discomfort is her responsibility. And once a man learns that, he relaxes. Relaxation is where effort goes to die. Men respect women who don't fill awkward silence because silence forces men to locate themselves. In silence, a man becomes conscious of his value, his intent, his leverage, and his insecurity. Talking interrupts that process. Talking rescues him from self-evaluation. This is why men will often talk less around women they respect and more around women they don't. It looks backward if you don't understand power dynamics. The man who rambles is not leading. He is filling space. The man who pauses is deciding. Women who rush to fill silence are not expressive. They are anxious. Anxiety leaks information. And men are excellent information thieves. A woman who cannot tolerate silence is a woman who cannot tolerate uncertainty. And uncertainty is the currency of attraction. Remove uncertainty, and you remove tension. Remove tension, and you remove desire. What remains is convenience. Men do not respect convenience. They use it. Silence forces men to work. It forces them to initiate, escalate, clarify, or retreat. Words do all that work for him if you provide them. Men respect effort they have to generate. They devalue effort you hand them prepackaged. This is why men will test silence early. They will pause mid-conversation. They will go quiet after a date. They will let a message sit unanswered just long enough to create static. They are not confused. They are observing. If you rush in with reassurance, jokes, emotional check-ins, or nervous commentary, you have answered the test. You have revealed that silence destabilizes you. That information lowers your perceived rank immediately. Men do not consciously think, "She filled the silence, so I respect her less." Men feel it. Respect is not a thought. It is a posture. The women men respect are not necessarily quieter. They are selective. Their words have weight because they are not compulsive. Silence gives words gravity. Without silence, words become noise. This is why men often describe respected women as calm, grounded, intimidating, or mysterious. None of those traits are mystical. They are behavioral. They come from a woman who does not scramble to be liked in real time. Men are disgusted by desperation, even when they benefit from it. Especially when they benefit from it. The woman who fills silence is trying to manage perception. Men feel managed and lose respect instantly. Here is the uncomfortable truth. Men associate silence with self-sufficiency. A woman who does not fill silence appears complete. A woman who fills it appears hungry. Hunger is not attractive when it is visible. This is why women who overshare early are rarely taken seriously. They confuse openness with intimacy. Intimacy requires containment. Silence is containment. There is a reason interrogators use silence. Silence makes people talk, and the one who talks first loses leverage. Dating is not a battlefield, but it is a negotiation. The one who breaks silence reveals need. Men respect women who don't fill awkward silence because those women force men to expose their intent. A man who wants something will move toward it when you do not meet him halfway emotionally. A man who is unsure will stall. Silence separates the decisive from the opportunistic. Most women sabotage this unknowingly. They think chemistry is constant stimulation. They think connection is continuous feedback. What they are actually doing is preventing men from investing. Men invest when there is space to step into. Silence creates that space. When a woman fills silence, she becomes the engine of the interaction. Engines get used. They do not get admired. There is a study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology that found individuals who allowed pauses and conversational gaps were perceived as more confident and higher status than those who spoke continuously, even when saying similar content. Confidence is not volume, it is restraint. Men are exquisitely sensitive to this. Now let's talk about why silence scares women more than men. Women are socialized to maintain emotional flow, to repair discomfort, to smooth edges. Men are socialized to tolerate dead space, to endure friction. When a woman interrupts silence, she is doing emotional labor men did not ask for. Unrequested labor is rarely respected. Men respect women who don't fill awkward silence because silence communicates standards without enforcement. It says, I do not perform for approval. I do not chase comfort. I am fine right here. Men test that message constantly. They pause. They withdraw. They delay. They watch. The woman who stays steady passes without knowing she was examined. The woman who rushes fails loudly. Silence also reveals authenticity. People lie less when they speak less. Men trust women whose words arrive slowly because they feel considered. Fast talk feels like persuasion. Men resist persuasion instinctively. This is why men often accuse women who stop filling silence of changing. She didn't change. She stopped compensating. Men feel the loss of free labor and call it distance. There is dark humor in this. Many men say they want communication. What they mean is they want emotional accessibility on demand. Silence removes that privilege. Men respect women who don't fill awkward silence because silence reintroduces consequence. If he says something stupid and you do not rush to soften it, he has to sit with it. If he delays effort and you do not rush to reassure, he has to account for it. Silence makes men accountable to themselves. Talking lets them outsource that accountability to you. This is why men often step up after a woman pulls back quietly. Not dramatically. Not with speeches. With silence. Silence is a mirror. Men either correct themselves or walk away from their reflection. Now here is where simps get offended. They think silence is manipulation. It is not. Manipulation is forcing an outcome. Silence allows outcomes to reveal themselves. Weak men fear that distinction because silence removes their ability to coast. A woman who fills silence protects men from the consequences of their indecision. A woman who doesn't forces men to decide. Men respect women who don't fill awkward silence because those women are not afraid of endings. Silence contains the possibility of an ending. Talking tries to prevent it. Men can feel that fear. Fear repels. This does not mean being cold. Coldness is defensive. Silence is neutral. Neutrality is powerful. Now let me pause here because this is where coaching matters. I offer one-on-one coaching, and it is pinned in the comment section. Not because you need more information, but because you need calibration. Silence is easy to understand and difficult to execute when attachment is active. Coaching trains timing. It teaches you when to speak, when to wait, and when to let men expose themselves without interference. The women who opt in do not become detached robots. They become precise. Precision is attractive. Also, the landing page is done. I am adding it to the description and the pinned comment. There is a free PDF and a video there. Read them, watch them, and subscribe to the newsletter, because that is where I offer discounts for coaching orders. If you are serious about changing how men respond to you, start there. This is what my weekly newsletter looks like. This is where I sometimes say things that YouTube doesn't let me say. I'll be sending 3 weekly, and make sure to check under promotions or spam folder for my emails. And yes, pre-order the course called The Feminine Game. It releases May 30th. If you wait until after, you will pay more and complain quietly. Back to silence. Men do not respect women who over-explain. Explanation is submission, disguised as clarity. Silence refuses to submit. A woman who can sit in silence communicates self-trust. She does not need to manage perception because she believes her presence is enough. Men respond to that belief because belief creates gravity. This is why men often pursue women who seem indifferent at first. Not because they are cruel, but because indifference suggests fullness. Fullness attracts. Need repels. Men respect women who don't fill awkward silence because those women do not chase momentum. They let momentum come to them. Men feel invited to lead. Leadership is attractive to men because it aligns with their self-image. When you fill silence, you steal that role. Men resent stolen roles. This is why men often complain that women talk too much, when what they really mean is that women are interrupting their sense of agency. Silence restores it. Silence also filters men quickly. The man who wants validation will push for reassurance. The man who wants power will push boundaries. The man who wants connection will step forward with clarity. You do not have to ask. Silence does the sorting. Most women are afraid of sorting because sorting creates loss. They would rather manage mediocre attention than risk emptiness. Men sense that fear and exploit it. Men respect women who don't fill awkward silence because those women are willing to lose men who cannot meet them. That willingness is felt immediately. Here is the paradox. Silence feels...
All right, let's go back. Let's listen to the first line. Just let's go.
Silence is where weak people panic.
Silence is where weak people panic. So when you sit here and you listen to this, where in silence have you been that person to panic? Where in silence have you felt the need to fulfill the silence and talk? I found myself in spaces with women who talk too much. I feel like being in spaces with women who talk too much, you have to put on headphones to tune them out because they have this energy where they always want someone to talk and talk and talk and talk around them. Okay. Uh I remember once, you know what? Why is she doing this? I remember once a woman was talking about her boyfriend and she said, well, he's in therapy now. And ever since he's been in therapy, when he comes home, he's quiet. And I try to get him to talk to me, but he doesn't talk anymore. And I've also noticed women who talk a lot, they be like, I like to talk. I like to talk. I like to talk. But they're the worst type of people because they sit around and they talk a lot, but they think that they know it all. You know, those people who get the most humbled in life, they think they know it all. You know what I'm saying? And so, anywho, that's what is going on. Okay, so let's go. So, you take that, what I just said, put in your notes. Okay.
That is the entire thesis. If you understand nothing else in this video, understand this. Silence is not empty. Silence is pressure. And pressure reveals hierarchy faster than any conversation ever could. Most women think awkward silence is something to fix. Men know it is something to survive. That difference alone determines who is respected and who is slowly discounted. Here's the hook you need to hear before you click away. Men do not respect the woman who makes them comfortable. They respect the woman who makes them aware. Awareness sharpens men. Comfort dulls them. And nothing dulls a man faster than a woman who cannot sit inside tension without bleeding words. The woman who fills silence teaches a man something dangerous. She teaches him that discomfort is her responsibility. And once a man learns that, he relaxes. Relaxation is where effort goes to die. Men respect women who don't fill awkward silence because silence forces men to locate themselves. In silence, a man becomes conscious of his value, his intent,
No,
his leverage, and his insecurity. Talking interrupts that process.
I was a woman that was way before my time, and many things in my life that I did not see from before. And I promise you, with Marley, the children's dad, I I remember when he was in his Saturn return and he was in that living room breaking down, and I could not interfere. Like I literally could not interfere. Like my spirit was just like, nope, let him get through it. And the mammies and the pygmishas, they're fixer uppers. They're therapists, they're psychiatrists, they're this, they're that, they're fixer uppers, they're build a man type bitches. And you're not going to be in your power when you operate like this. Let me tell you something. As a woman who's ascended and you try to adapt in this mammy pygmisha world, if it really, you will find yourself very humiliated in that space. Very humiliated. Humiliated in a way that you won't be able to get over it. Okay? Let's go.
Talking rescues him from self-evaluation. This is why men will often talk less around women they respect and more around women they don't. It looks backward if you don't understand power dynamics. The man who rambles is not.
Pay attention to that part right there.
This is why men will often talk less around women they respect and more around women they don't.
Women that have these male friends that talk to them and open up to them, I said that. They don't respect you. Men and women are not friends. This is absolute confirmation for male's nature that he don't respect you. I said that. I had to learn that for myself from a male acquaintance. You could say homie. And I like, he knows so much about my life. He don't respect me. He don't respect that. He don't know I've changed. He don't probably believe I've changed. He don't have respect for me. He don't believe in me. He don't not that he don't believe in me. He don't respect me. You know what I'm saying? Like not that he's disrespectful to me or anything like that, but I have said that to myself. Until that respect will be earned, he will have to see that. You see what I'm saying? If even that will happen, being what he knows, you see? So that makes so much sense that the person you respect and you care about, you ain't going to be willy nilly just talking and sharing everything with them. Like, yeah.
It looks backward if you don't understand power dynamics. The man who rambles is not leading. He is filling space. The man who pauses is deciding. Women who rush to fill silence are not expressive. They are anxious. Anxiety leaks information. And men are excellent information thieves. A woman who cannot tolerate silence is a woman who cannot tolerate uncertainty. And uncertainty is the currency of attraction. Remove uncertainty, and you remove tension. Remove tension, and you remove desire. What remains is convenience. Men do not respect convenience. They use it. Silence forces men to work. It forces them to initiate, escalate, clarify, or retreat. Words do all that work for him if you provide them. Men respect effort they have to generate. They devalue effort you hand them prepackaged. This is why men will test silence early. They will pause mid-conversation. They will go quiet after a date. They will let a message sit unanswered just long enough to create static. They are not confused. They are observing. If you rush in with reassurance, jokes, emotional check-ins, or nervous commentary, you have answered the test. You have revealed that silence destabilizes you. That information lowers your perceived rank immediately. Men do not consciously think, "She filled the silence, so I respect her less." Men feel it. Respect is not a thought. It is a posture. The women men respect are not necessarily quieter. They are selective. Their words have weight because they are not compulsive. Silence gives words gravity. Without silence, words become noise. This is why men often describe respected women as calm, grounded, intimidating, or mysterious. None of those traits are mystical. They are behavioral. They come from a woman who does not scramble to be liked in real time. Men are disgusted by desperation, even when they benefit from it. Especially when they benefit from it.
For my young listeners out there, okay, for my very, very young listeners, I need you to really take full, okay, advantage of this information. I need you to take full notes of this information that you're receiving right now. If anything's going to help your life, it's this information right here. Okay? Pay attention to this part again. Just a little bit more. Let's go.
Respected women as calm, grounded, intimidating, or mysterious. None of those traits are mystical. They are behavioral. They come from a woman who does not scramble to be liked in real time. Men are disgusted by desperation, even when they benefit from it. Especially when they benefit from it. The woman who fills silence is trying to manage perception. Men feel managed and lose respect instantly. Here is the uncomfortable truth. Men associate silence with self-sufficiency. A woman who does not fill silence appears complete. A woman who fills it appears hungry. Hunger is not attractive when it is visible. This is why women who overshare early are rarely taken seriously. They confuse openness with intimacy. Intimacy requires containment. Silence is containment. There is a reason interrogators use silence. Silence makes people talk, and the one who talks first loses leverage. Dating is not a battlefield, but it is a negotiation. The one who breaks silence reveals need. Men respect women who don't fill awkward silence because those women force men to expose their intent. A man who wants something will move toward it when you do not meet him halfway emotionally. A man who is unsure will stall. Silence separates the decisive from the opportunistic. Most women sabotage this unknowingly. They think chemistry is constant stimulation. They think connection is continuous feedback. What they are actually doing is preventing men from investing. Men invest when there is space to step into. Silence creates that space. When a woman fills silence, she becomes the engine of the interaction. Engines get used. They do not get admired. There is a study published in the Journal of Personality and Conversational Gaps were perceived as more confident and higher status than those who spoke continuously, even when saying similar content. Confidence is not volume, it is restraint. Men are exquisitely sensitive to this. Now let's talk about why silence scares women more than men. Women are socialized to maintain emotional flow, to repair discomfort, to smooth edges. Men are socialized to tolerate dead space, to endure friction. When a woman interrupts silence, she is doing emotional labor men did not ask for. Unrequested labor is rarely respected. Men respect women who don't fill awkward silence because silence communicates standards without enforcement. It says, I do not perform for approval. I do not chase comfort. I am fine right here. Men test that message constantly. They pause. They withdraw. They delay. They watch. The woman who stays steady passes without knowing she was examined. The woman who rushes fails loudly. Silence also reveals authenticity. People lie less when they speak less. Men trust women whose words arrive slowly because they feel considered. Fast talk feels like persuasion.
And this is when social media jumps in. Okay. We have the pop the balloon, we have speed dating. Even though that came before social media, but I haven't seen speed dating until I got on to social media. We have all these different in online dating. We have these things that make things feel like it should be fast. And some people, I used to be one of those like, okay, we're talking, let's vibe, let's take it off the line, let's really talk, let's vibe. And somebody be like, oh no, 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 I don't want to be so quick to do this and that, da 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 da. And I'll be like, boop, gotta go. I'll put them down the roster. And these type of things are the problem of us understanding the dynamic of what a relationship moves like when people really like each other. How a man, how a male responds, how people respond to each other when people really like each other. You slow down, you take your time. Even when you see somebody that you're attracted to or you feel that connection to, everything in it slows, time slows down. Like, oh shit, all I see is you. You know what I'm saying? And for people who understand that, people who get into relationships that understand that, they're not going to be moving so fast in their relationships.
Men resist persuasion instinctively. This is why men often accuse women who stop filling silence of changing. She didn't change. She stopped compensating. Men feel the loss of free labor and call it distance. There is dark humor in this. Many men say they want communication. What they mean is they want emotional accessibility on demand. Silence removes that privilege. Men respect women who don't feel awkward.
I never trusted men who always would try to get me to talk a lot. I never trusted men who always need to talk and need me to talk all the time. I just never did. And this right here is confirmation of it. Just something that's not morning. Hey, Bob, sidebar. So remember the person I told you I was gonna all fast talkers are scammers. Scammers don't even make sense when they talk. Scammers don't even make sense when they talk. Some of them have nerve to get attitudes. Oh, let me tell you something, Bob Barney. So sidebar. Remember the person I said I was gonna work with, the one who hit me up? Well, the person I am gonna work with. I shuffled on them. Guess what the fucking cards I got? Ten of wands, six of cups, two of cups. You heard me. And the king and the queen of wands came out. I said, oh shit. You know the first thing I thought that shit was, right? That was a whole this word. I ain't saying that on here. That was that whole right there. That was the last day of it before it went out. It did say you will attract someone at your level. Something like that, right? Yeah.
Awkward silence, because silence reintroduces consequence. If he says something stupid and you do not rush to soften it, he has to sit with it. If he delays effort and you do not rush to reassure, he has to account for it. Silence makes men accountable to themselves. Talking lets them outsource that accountability to you. This is why men often step up after a woman pulls back quietly, not dramatically, not with speeches, with silence. Silence is a mirror. Men either correct themselves or walk away from their reflection. Now here is where simps get offended. They think silence is manipulation. It is not. Manipulation is forcing an outcome. Silence allows outcomes to reveal themselves.
Simps do not have strong male figures, if at all, in their lives. Simps are men, simps and beta are men more than likely raised by their mothers. And so, because of that, they have a distorted perception of women and relationships with women. Because men who have been raised by a single mother, I've seen this even with women too, they have they don't have the same type of boundaries that you have when you have a father or a male figure in the house. And I know the dynamics of a man changes. I know, damn, bro, right? I I know the dynamics of the male changes in the house and stuff. But one thing I will say about when men are in the house or around, there's a little bit more boundaries. Like if there's no boundaries, like I was a stepchild, so he did not interfere. So I had to take that abuse from both sides. But when it's like a parent child situation, that father steps in for that child. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Weak men fear that distinction because silence removes their ability to coast. A woman who fills silence protects men from the consequences of their indecision. A woman who doesn't forces men to decide. Men respect women who don't fill awkward silence because those women are not afraid of endings. Silence contains the possibility of an ending. Talking tries to prevent it. Men can feel that fear. Fear repels. This does not mean being cold. Coldness is defensive. Silence is neutral. Neutrality is powerful. Now let me pause here because this is where coaching matters. I offer one-on-one coaching, and it is pinned in the comments section. Not because you need more information, but because you need calibration. Silence is easy to understand and difficult to execute when attachment is active. Coaching trains timing. It teaches you when to speak, when to wait, and when to let men expose themselves without interference. The women who opt in do not become detached robots. They become precise. Precision is attractive. Also, the landing page is done. I am adding it to the description and the pinned comment. There is a free PDF and a video there. Read them, watch them, and subscribe to the newsletter, because that is where I offer discounts for coaching orders. If you are serious about changing how men respond to you, start there. This is what my weekly newsletter looks like. This is where I sometimes say things that you too.
Just to put something out there, I am going, like I said, I'm building a Patreon for y'all to have more very personal conversations that I need to have because, like I said, I see my purpose of why I do the work that I do and I do what I do. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate all of you who've been here for a while, who've been riding, and those of you in the background. You know what I'm saying? So definitely going to hit up. We definitely going to do a Patreon, but uh, I'm not doing a newsletter or nothing.
Doesn't let me say. I'll be sending 3 weekly,
Stuff, but
and make sure to check under promotions or spam folder for my emails. And yes, pre-order the course called The Feminine Game.
I would encourage everyone to get it. I know I'm gonna purchase it. I should have pre-ordered it because I know it's gonna be more after the. I should have. I should have just got it when I saw it, but it's okay. But it's okay. You live, you learn. When I started, I've been seeing this person and I've been seeing them, and then finally I listened. You know, let me tell you something. When certain things come across your feed, your timeline, that means you're ready for it. Okay? That means you're ready for it. And so you sit down and you listen and see what kind of message is pulling through you and why you need to hear these messages.
Releases May 30th. If you wait until after, you will pay more and complain quietly. Back to silence. Men do not respect women who over-explain. Explanation is submission, disguised as clarity. Silence refuses to submit. A woman who can sit in silence communicates self-trust. She does not need to manage perception because she believes her presence is enough. Men respond to that belief because belief creates gravity. This is why men often pursue women who seem indifferent at first. Not because they are cruel, but because indifference suggests fullness. Fullness attracts. Need repels. Men respect women who don't fill awkward silence because those women do not chase momentum. They let momentum come to them. Men feel invited to lead. Leadership is attractive to men because it aligns with their self-image. When you fill silence, you steal that role. Men resent stolen roles. This is why men often complain that women talk too much, when what they really mean is that women are interrupting their sense of agency. Silence restores it. Silence also filters men quickly. The man who wants validation will push for reassurance.
Women are disturbing. Women are distractive. Okay. I've watched people walk up to the machine to purchase something and a woman to say, why you want to go buy all that expensive ass stuff? Or why you want to buy that expensive food? And it's like, none of your business. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, who asked you to say anything to me? Like, I didn't ask you to say anything to me. And so, yeah. So women are disturbing. When I was sitting down, I was writing, it was women that was coming up to me talking. Women are disturbing. Very disturbing.
The man who wants power will push boundaries. The man who wants connection will step.
What's disturbing is the unascended woman who just talks. She doesn't have any, she just talks.
Forward with clarity. You do not have to ask. Silence does the sorting. Most women are afraid of sorting because sorting creates loss. They would rather manage mediocre attention than risk emptiness. Men sense that fear and exploit it. Men respect women who don't fill awkward silence because those women are willing to lose men who cannot meet them. That willingness is felt immediately. Here is the paradox. Silence feels passive, but functions aggressively. It removes options without confrontation. Men either rise or vanish. Both outcomes are efficient. Now sit with this. The most seductive thing you can do is nothing. But it has to be genuine nothing, not performative restraint. Men detect performance instantly. If you are silent while screaming internally, men feel the incongruence. True silence comes from inner independence. That is what men respect. In the next stretch, we will talk about how men behave differently around women who master silence. How silence changes. Texting dynamics, dates, conflict, and long-term commitment. And why men often become more obsessed after a woman stops narrating herself. Stay with me. Silence changes everything once you leave the room. That is where most women ruin it. They handle the date well, the conversation well, the eye contact well, and then panic the moment there is distance. Distance is where men decide value. Proximity is theater. Distance is accounting. When a woman does not fill silence in person, but collapses into chatter over text, the illusion dies. Men do not compartmentalize confidence. They look for pattern consistency. Silence that disappears, the moment phones come out, tells them it was situational, not structural. Men respect women who don't fill awkward silence because silence carries across time. It tells him you are not dependent on immediate feedback to feel secure. That is rare, and rarity creates value. Texting is the modern lie detector. Men test pacing there more than anywhere else. Delayed replies, short replies, a sudden gap. Not because they are cruel, but because they are curious. They want to know if your calm is real or cosmetic. The woman who fills the gap with follow-ups, emojis, explanations, or nervous humor teaches him that silence is dangerous for her. He learns that distance makes you pliable. Pliability is not respected. It is exploited. The woman who lets a message sit without explanation does something powerful. She lets him imagine. Imagination is the most effective form of control. Men respect women who allow them to imagine consequences. Silence also disrupts male laziness. A man who is used to women narrating their feelings relies on that narration to coast. When it disappears, he has to work to understand the terrain. Men respect effort they are forced to make. This is why men often become more attentive after a woman stops over-communicating. They feel the loss of informational advantage. Silence removes his map. He has to navigate again. There is humor in watching this happen. Men will suddenly accuse you of being mysterious when you are simply quiet. Mystery is not what you are. It is what he experiences when you stop explaining yourself. Men respect women who don't fill awkward silence, because silence protects dignity. Dignity is attractive in ways beauty cannot compensate for. Beauty without dignity invites entitlement. Dignity without noise demands care. Conflict exposes this most clearly. In arguments, the woman who fills silence is usually trying to be understood. The woman who pauses is deciding whether the man is worth understanding at all. Men feel that evaluation immediately. When you respond too quickly in conflict, you signal urgency. Urgency implies fear of loss. Fear of loss shifts power. Men do not respect the person who fears losing them. They respect the person who can lose them and survive. Silence in conflict does not mean avoidance. It means refusal to perform emotional labor on demand. Men learn quickly who they can provoke into explanation and who they cannot. Men respect women who don't fill awkward silence because silence denies men the dopamine hit of reaction. Many men poke emotionally not to hurt, but to feel impact. Silence starves that impulse. This is where dark humor comes in. Men will say women are complicated. They are not. They are verbose. Silence simplifies everything. Silence also exposes men who confuse attention with affection. When attention disappears, they realize they were not attached to you. They were attached to being seen.
Women, if you get anything from the male psyche, it is who he is with you that is what is going on with the male. This is where you have to tap into your divine feminine energy and recognize what position you hold with this man. Should you not take him serious? You shouldn't take any of them serious, honestly. Should you not take him serious and just go on with your life and give him the energy he's giving you? Or should you realize that this is someone who is someone meaningful to you and take your time with that person? But you're going to take your time with whoever you with, but you're really going to take your time with this person. Then also, the divine feminine, you have to already know where he's already placing you. Does he put you on a pedestal? Does he see you as something that he can use? Is Are you business? That means something he can use. Are you something, well, which would be more beneficial, right? Are you somebody who knows how to cook and clean? So you come in his house and that's what you do. And you kind of like his escape from whatever. Like you have to know your position as a divine feminine of what room category a male is putting you into. As a divine feminine, you already will know, but just teaching you, you got to know by understanding the psyche of a male. Just because he spends time with you, men are loyal. Just because he spends time with you, it doesn't mean anything. I'm telling you, I see this same trait in masculine women. I see masculine women do the same fucking thing because it's still energetic. She'll spend time with you, she'll be around you, she'll whatever with you, and then there's nothing else more with her with you. And that's where that masculine woman mirrors the male energy in that type of sense. So you have to also not be so easily duped into believing that someone's proximity to you means that there's some type of feelings involved with that. So you have to be able to dissect that and teach yourself how to dissect that.
Men respect women who don't fill awkward silence because silence reveals self-control. Self-control is one of the few traits men universally admire. It signals maturity, boundaries, and internal authority. Internal authority terrifies weak men. Strong men are drawn to it. This is why some men will leave when you stop filling silence. That is not loss. That is filtration. Men who need constant reassurance cannot coexist with a woman who respects herself. There is a particular moment men remember. A pause after they say something unimpressive. A silence after a low-effort invitation. A gap after they test your availability. Those silences linger in their memory longer than compliments ever could. Men replay those moments because silence makes them self-conscious. Self-consciousness is the seed of growth or retreat. This is where long-term dynamics are decided. Men who grow lean in. Men who retreat complain. Silence also protects you from false intimacy. Fast in-
Ah, Before we get to false intimacy, I have noticed something interesting, right? If you've experienced the fuck boy or the fuck girl experience or the fuck stud experience, you don't never get a clear answer. You never get a clear answer. There's excuses on top of excuses that you just can't believe that people can even know how to fathom or gather up excuses like this. The level of pure ridiculousness of how they just don't. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You see my description? You see that search right there? It says hunting with a rifle. I have fun. I found some videos on hunting. I actually found the show, but I wasn't feeling it because they were behind this bunker thing. And I was like, oh, they're not out in the field hiding and shit like that. It was a little bit raw. But I'll be showing that as well. I don't know. I don't think I can show that all the way because of copyright, but this right here is fine. Let's go.
Intimacy is usually built on oversharing. Oversharing feels deep, but is structurally weak.
Structurally.
Silence forces intimacy to be earned.
Mm-hmm.
Men respect women who don't fill awkward silence because those women cannot be rushed. Time pressure loses its power. This is why men often slow down their own pace around such women. They sense that rushing will not work. Respect follows adaptation. Now let's be honest. Silence is uncomfortable because it exposes you to your own thoughts. Most people fill silence to avoid themselves. Men sense when a woman is comfortable alone. That comfort is intoxicating. Men respect women who don't fill awkward silence because silence signals options without advertising them. You do not have to mention other men. Silence implies a life beyond this interaction. Options terrify men who want control and attract men who want partnership. Silence makes that distinction obvious. Now, before you misunderstand, silence is not withdrawal forever. It is calibrated presence. It is knowing when words add value and when they cheapen it. This is exactly why one-on-one coaching exists. Not to teach you tricks, but to refine judgment. The women I work with stop reacting and start choosing. They learn how to use silence without turning cold, how to disengage without disappearing, how to let men invest without manipulation. The link is pinned in the comment section. If you are tired of repeating the same dynamics with different faces, that is where the pattern gets broken. Again, the landing page is live. It is in the description and pinned comment. There is a free PDF and a free video there. Consume them before you make any decisions, and subscribe to the...
These people are not American. Just want to let you know that. Most of these people from the Divine Feminine School, these are not American people. And that's very pivotal because Americans, and this is not to knock the country I come from, American culture, it ain't that bright. It's not mature. Okay? I'm gonna just keep it real with you. It's not mature in the department of dating, relationships, unity, and other people. It's very childish, the American way of dating.
Newsletter. That is where discounts for coaching orders show up. If you miss them, that is on you. Also, pre-order The Feminine Game. It releases May 30th. It is not about becoming distant or aloof. It is about removing behaviors that teach men they can relax into mediocrity around you. Back to the anatomy of respect. Men respect women who don't fill awkward silence because silence makes boundaries implicit. Explicit boundaries invite negotiation. Implicit boundaries shut doors quietly. Men are always probing for flexibility. Silence refuses to answer probes. Men either adapt or leave. Silence also reframes rejection. When you do not explain why something did not work, men are forced to assume standards. Standards create respect even when they exclude him. Men do not resent women who reject them quietly. They resent women who reject them emotionally. Silence is clean. Clean rejection preserves dignity on both sides. There is a cruel irony here. Women who talk the most are often the least understood. Women who speak less are listened to more. Men listen when words are scarce. Silence is also the fastest way to regain power after you have given too much. You do not need to announce change. You change behavior. Men notice shifts faster than speeches. When men say, "You feel distant," what they mean is, "I no longer have access to your emotional output on demand." That loss forces recalibration. Men respect women who don't fill awkward silence because silence is expensive. It costs comfort. It costs reassurance. It costs instant validation. Anything expensive is valued. Now let me address the inevitable accusation. This creates insecurity. No. Insecurity comes from inconsistency paired with reassurance. Silence paired with steady behavior creates stability. Men trust what is stable. Silence can be stable when it is not reactive. If this offends you, good. Offense is usually the first crack in a bad habit. Men respect women who don't fill awkward silence because silence refuses to audition. Auditions lower status. Presence raises it. The women who master this are often labeled intimidating. That label usually means uncontrollable. Men complain when they cannot predict your reactions. Unpredictability built on chaos is unattractive. Unpredictability built on restraint is magnetic. Men stop testing when silence stops rewarding them. That is the mechanism. Tests require reaction. Silence denies it. At the end of the day, silence is not about men. It is about you being unwilling to leak your value through nervous noise. If you like this video, subscribe. Not because I need it, but because the algorithm respects consistency, and I respect leverage. And comment this. The last time a man went quiet, did you fill the space, or did you let him sit in it? Answer honestly. Your honesty helps someone else see themselves faster.
Did you fill the space or did you let him sit in it? All right, so that's the first one.
Silence always tells the truth. Welcome to the dark side of your mind.
All right, so let's go. That is Former Pimp Explains Men. Go to that channel. Okay. And now we're going to go to my gal, my pretty gal, which is quick video. How men choose who to respect and who to use. Okay. These are things that you have to learn in intricate details. I'm going to tell you something about the big Russian sister. Okay. Let me make sure I say her name right because she goes by two names. The Russian big sister. I said it backwards. She goes into intricate details for you about the male psyche. Not that the former pimp doesn't. He gives you, just like a man would give you, very practical, useful depth. She gives you the detail of the bed. He's like, they both are observation and analysis, but I enjoy the way she dissect her analysis. See, because she's the feminine energy here. She is the divine feminine here. And it's interesting that she has on the gold. Gold is associated with Leo, which is associated with the solar, which is really Leo is the heart chakra. But the color gold is associated with the solar plex or yellow, right? The heart chakra is actually green, And so then you have she has the V for Vendetta mask. I'll have to watch V for Vendetta again to really get into the whole purpose of what this mask really means and everything. And then she has this very interesting sense of humor as well that I enjoy because Marsa Poponia, one of the 9 muses, deals with tragedy and comedy. And she carries a mask and she wears catharsis shoes. And I got a feeling she probably does too. This woman probably wears platforms, something, fishnets. She gives me that feel. But we're going to go ahead and this is the topic of how men choose who to respect and who to use.
Take off your emotional stilettos and get comfortable because Big Sister is about to tell you the truth that might sting a little, but will save your whole damn dating life. And before we start, you already know the manners of this channel. Like the video, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss when I come back next week to roast your decisions with love. And if you want personal coaching where I fix your self-respect faster than Babushka fixes broken furniture with duct tape and Holy Spirit, the link is in the description and the pinned comment. Now today we talk about something very serious but also very hilarious because women make same mistakes every century. The topic is how men choose who to respect and who to use. Yes, my love, men categorize women faster than Russian woman categorizes vegetables for winter soup. They do it instantly, instinctively, silently, and I'm going to tell you exactly how they do it, what they look for, and how not to be the woman they use like free Wi-Fi. By the end of this video you will understand the secret formulas men apply, you will laugh at your past behavior, maybe cry a little, but mostly you will feel strong, beautiful, confident, and ready to make any man rise to your standards. Okay, Take deep breath because Big Sister is about to tell you truth you never heard before. Men don't respect all women equally. I know, shocking, right? Society tells you all women deserve respect. But baby, men don't think like that. Men respect women who respect themselves. Men use women who disrespect themselves. If that sentence confused you, don't worry. I break it down like cheap chocolate bar. Men watch you quietly. They read your behavior like subtitles on Netflix. They don't care about what you say. They care about what you do. They observe how quickly you respond, how available you are, how much you tolerate, how fast you forgive, how deeply you attach, how desperately you chase. Women think men fall in love through feelings. No, men fall in love through respect. And they respect women who hold themselves with dignity, not women who throw their whole identity at him after 2 dates and 1 half-assed compliment. Let me give you examples so it goes into your soul. You meet man. He texts you hey at 11 p.m. and you, because you are dramatic romantic sunflower, reply in 2 minutes like you were sitting there staring at the wall waiting for message to arrive. Already he sees you as woman with no boundaries. If he asks to hang out last minute and you cancel your plans with your best friend who you've known since birth, he sees you as woman who can be used. If he flakes once and you pretend everything is fine like naive angel, he sees you as woman with no consequences. If he takes you on 3 dates and hasn't defined anything but you're already
These women who are telling you to talk sweet, I've heard Shiva 7 tell a woman to pretend that she's dumb. All of these type of things are putting you in a danger zone. Believe it or not, if you are out here and you want quality people around you, you have to be a quality person. That means if you're smart, you read books, and you are who you are, just remain who you are. Don't give a fuck about nothing else.
cooking for him, cleaning his place and laughing at his stupid jokes that are not even funny. He sees opportunity, not love. Men do not love convenience, they use convenience. Men love challenge, not unnecessary drama challenge, emotional standard challenge. When woman values herself, she becomes challenge. When she doesn't, she becomes tool. And now you ask me, Big Sister, how do I know which one he sees me as? Trust me, he decides this in first few interactions. And it is based on how you hold your boundaries, how you hold your time, how you hold your emotions. You don't need to act like cold ice queen, but you need to act like woman with inner strength, not inner chaos. This reminds me of a scene from Russian telenovela Clone. Oh my god, this one is classic. There is woman named Yelena. Beautiful, elegant, soft voice like melted honey, but temper like winter storm when needed. She meets this handsome man who is used to women falling all over him like dominoes. He tries charms, gifts, sweet talk, late night calls. She doesn't fall, she doesn't chase, she doesn't respond at 1 a.m. like wounded little puppy. She treats him politely, but she is busy with her life, her career, her friends. And at one point he tells her, I cannot read you. And she smiles, maybe because I am not giving you book for free. He respects her instantly. Meanwhile, he uses other women in the show who throw themselves at him like clearance sale. Why? Because Yelena made him work. She didn't manipulate, she simply had standards. And standards create respect. Now let's talk deeper, my love. Men choose who to respect based on how a woman respects herself. They respect women who don't abandon their own needs to please him. They respect women who don't drop everything for him. They respect women who don't tolerate disrespect even once. They respect women who are consistent in their boundaries, not flexible like jellyfish anytime he gives them small attention crumb. They respect women who are whole, not women who want man to complete them. And now we must talk about self-respect tests, because men do test you. Not all of them intentionally, sometimes unconsciously, but they do. Right in the middle of this video, perfect moment to remind you. If you want to understand the psychology of how men test your self-respect, go watch our Patreon video, How Men Test Women's Self-Respect. This video dives deep into subconscious tests men run to see if you are woman to respect or woman to use. It explains everything so clearly that even your heartbreak will be like, oh damn, now I understand. Now let's continue. The sad truth is, many women are used because they choose to be used. Not consciously, but emotionally. They attach too quickly, forgive too easily, hope too loudly, and abandon their standards too willingly. They think love means sacrifice, but baby, sacrifice without reciprocity is self-neglect. Men feel when woman is desperate. They smell it like wolves smell weakness. When woman is desperate for connection, desperate for attention, desperate for validation, man will
Have you ever seen a woman who is constantly trying to one up you, constantly in competition, and you're just looking at that weird bitch like it ain't that deep? That's a woman who is desperate even in her relationship. She's desperate for something to unfold. She's desperate for to know what are we. She's desperate. She tries to manipulate in her desperation. That's her first way that she does it. And when her manipulation doesn't work because she is desperate, that's when she crashes out, or she has so much to say about what men are not, okay? Or because that's the thing about the Pygmisha and the Mammy that you have to understand. They're very good at talking points about males. They're very good at taking. They're good copycats. Okay, and so they can take points about talking about males and shit like that. But they only do it for the male gaze, for the male attention, because they feel like that's going to make the male straighten out. These women who are telling you to soften yourself and soften your voice and talk to a man like this, put your hand on his shoulder and laugh, put throw your head back and laugh like this is how you flirt with a man. All this type of shit, all that is desperate behavior. All that is pick me shit behavior.
use her. Not because he is monster, but because she is allowing dynamic that feels easy for him. Men rise when they must. Men relax when they can. If he sees you will do everything with no effort from him, why would he rise? This is why I always tell you, feminine energy is your weapon. Not manipulative feminine energy, radiant feminine energy. If you haven't watched our last video, the biggest mistake after a breakup, reaching out to your ex, you must watch it after this, because that video teaches you why chasing, begging, and reaching out destroys respect instantly. And respect is the foundation of how men treat you. That video will slap you, but in a loving way. And trust me, it connects beautifully to today's topic, because women who reach out to exes are usually women who are seen as usable, not respect worthy. So go watch that after this one. Okay? Alright, my girl. Time for moment of honesty. Men are not complicated. They respect emotional discipline. They use emotional chaos. If you want man to see you as woman he takes seriously, you must behave like woman who takes herself seriously. Respect is not something you demand. It is something you radiate through your boundaries, behavior, posture, tone, decisions, and lifestyle. Now I want you to comment below, tell Big Sister, what is one behavior you realized today that maybe made a man see you as someone he can use? No shame, no guilt. We are here to grow. And I read your comments like proud older sister drinking tea and yelling at screen. Before we go into homework, let me give you these words, so you keep them forever. Men invest in what they fear losing. Men lose interest in what they always get for free. You cannot be man's priority if you treat yourself like a discount item. You must be selective. You must be emotionally balanced. You must be self-loving in actions, not just quotes on Instagram story at 2 a.m. Okay, baby, time for your homework. Tonight, sit with yourself and write down everything you tolerated in past that violated your standards. Everything you accepted while hoping he would change. Everything you allowed because you wanted love. Then write new standard beside each one. Not a list, just paragraphs. Write like emotional diary. This is not punishment, this is liberation. Now come here. Let Big Sister give you pep talk before I send you off glowing like new chandelier. You are not disposable. You are not replaceable. You are not woman men use unless you agree to live beneath your worth. You are powerful. You are soft but strong. You are magnetic. You are learning and leveling up. You are becoming woman who commands respect simply by existing. And Big Sister is so damn proud of you, I want to cry, but I don't because mascara expensive. You deserve love that feels safe, respect that feels natural, effort that is consistent. And you will get it. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are upgrading. Before you go, binge the Big Sister playlist. Heal your heart, strengthen your standards, transform your energy, and after this video, go watch The Biggest Mistake. After a breakup, reaching out to your ex. It continues everything we talked about beautifully. I love you, my beautiful girl. Now go act like woman men respect, not woman they use. You got this.
All right, let's jump into this one. Shout out to you, Bob Barney.
Few or absolutely no female friends. If you are watching this, you know exactly what I am talking about. You are the woman who has always felt like an outsider looking in. You watch groups of women bond effortlessly. You watch them laugh. You watch them share secrets. You watch them move in packs, like they share a single mind. But you remain perpetually on the periphery. Maybe you have tried to join them. You tried to soften your voice. You tried to smile more. You tried to care about the gossip, the small talk, the safety of the herd. But no matter how hard you tried to fit the mold, the result was always the same. The subtle exclusion. The invitations that accidentally got lost. The conversation that dies the moment you walk into the room. The cold, energetic wall that says you do not belong here. For years, you have probably told yourself a lie. You told yourself that you are socially awkward, that you are intimidating, that there is something fundamentally broken inside of you that prevents you from connecting. I am here to tell you, you are wrong. This is not a failure of your social skills, and it is certainly not a defect in your soul. What if I told you that your isolation is not an accident? What if I told you that you are being quarantined by the universe for your own protection? You are not alone because you are unworthy. You are alone because you carry an energetic signature that terrifies the collective. You are carrying the archetype of Lilith. In Jungian psychology, most women operate under the archetype of Eve. Eve is the mother. Eve is the gatherer. Eve seeks safety in numbers. Her power comes from belonging. But Lilith is the first woman, the one who refused to lie beneath, the one who chose the wilderness over the Garden of Eden. Lilith does not need the herd to survive. And this is why they reject you. When a group of Eves sees a Lilith walking alone, unbothered and unafraid, it triggers their shadow. You are a living mirror, reflecting the freedom they were forced to sacrifice. They don't hate you. They fear you. But here is the twist. Here is the secret that turns your pain into power. The very same quality that makes other women exile you is the exact quality that triggers a deep, primal obsession in high-value men. Think about it. A man does not hunt a sheep that is lost in the middle of the flock. There is no challenge in that. There is no mystery. The king looks for the lioness who walks alone. He is not looking for a woman who needs a committee of friends to tell her what to think. He is looking for a woman who is sovereign, a woman who is comfortable in the void, a woman who possesses the dark feminine capacity to stand apart from the crowd. Your solitude is not a curse. It is the price of the crown. If you are tired of trying to sit at tables where you are merely tolerated, if you are ready to stop begging for friendship and start commanding worship, then welcome home. Today, we are going to decode the psychology of the lone wolf woman. We are going to learn why you were never meant to fit in, and why your isolation is actually your most dangerous form of seduction. To understand your isolation, we must first look at the invisible architecture of female socialization. In the collective unconscious, there are two primary feminine archetypes that have been at war since the beginning of time. The first is Eve. Eve is the socialized feminine. She is the archetype of the mother, the wife, the daughter, and the sister. Her primary psychological drive is belonging. Eve.
A lot of unascended women are surrounded by a whole bunch of other women. They're always in groups and groups of women. And they're always trying to get you to join their group or be a part of them. And this is where they're just extremely childish and pick me. Pick me goes across the board. It doesn't just go with the man. She's a pick me even in her life.
Eve is biologically wired for the village. She understands that to survive, she must maintain harmony. She must compromise. She must lower her voice to match the frequency of the group. Eve bonds through consensus. Her friendships are built on sameness. We dress alike. We think alike. We hate the same people. This is the sisterhood of conformity. It is safe. It is warm, but it is also a cage. Then, there is Lilith. Lilith is the primal feminine. In mythology, she was Adam's first wife before Eve. But unlike Eve, she was created from the same dust as Adam, not from his rib. She refused to lie beneath him. She refused to submit to authority that she did not respect. When she was given the choice between submission in the Garden of Eden or exile in the wilderness, she chose the wilderness. Lilith's primary psychological drive is sovereignty. She does not seek belonging, she seeks truth. She bonds not through consensus, but through authenticity. And this brings us to the root of your pain. If you are watching this, you are likely carrying the Lilith signature. You walk into a room full of Eves and you feel it instantly. The friction, the silence, the side eyes. Why does this happen? It is not because you are mean. It is not because you are awkward. It is because of a psychological mechanism Carl Jung called shadow projection. Every woman born into this society is taught to repress her inner Lilith. From childhood, girls are taught to be nice, to be accommodating, to be quiet. They take their wildness, their anger, their sexual power, and their independence, and they shove it down into their shadow. They lock the wild woman in the basement so they can be accepted in the living room. Then, you walk in, you who laughs too loud, you who speaks your mind without checking the temperature of the room first, you who wears what you want, regardless of the trend. You are walking around with the wild woman right on the surface. To an Eve, you are not just a woman. You are a living mirror. When she looks at you, she sees everything she has had to kill in herself just to fit in. She sees the freedom she sacrificed for safety. And this triggers a violent psychological reaction. It triggers envy. But the human ego cannot handle envy. It is too painful to admit. I hate her because she is free and I am not. So the ego converts that envy into moral judgment. They don't say, I am jealous of her independence. They say, she is stuck up. She thinks she is better than us. She is dangerous. She is too much. They exclude you, not to hurt you, but to protect their own fragile personas. If they let you into the circle, your very presence threatens the code of the hive. You are the wolf in a room full of domesticated house cats. The cats are hissing, not because the wolf has attacked them, but because the wolf reminds them that they are wearing collars. This phenomenon is what we call the Milena effect. If you have seen the film, you know the story. A woman is persecuted by the town not for her sins, but for her beauty and her stoic independence. This is sexual rivalry, disguised as community standards. Deep down, the collective of Eves knows a terrifying truth. The nice girl gets the safety, but the Lilith gets the passion. They know that while they are following the rules, you are following your intuition. And most importantly, they know that men, true men, dangerous men, powerful men, are biologically bored by compliance.
See, that is where the real issue comes in with you as a divine feminine. See, what the pygmishas and the unascended woman thinks is you're weird and nobody would want anything like you. With the Pygmisha and the unascended woman and the mammy, they can't stand the fact that your aura, something about you, stands out in the room in a way that they just don't. Trust me, they know that they don't. That's why they have to be so loud, so extra, so flirty, so taking up all this space with all this extra shit because they know they don't have the je ne sais quoi that you have. You have something about you that takes over the room.
The
And and you have something about you that's so uniquely you that you know what I tell y'all all the time to my divine feminine, y'all don't realize how much you have quality men and how these quality men talk to you. And especially if you're a black woman and you attract white men or non-black men and they have a lot of respect for you and they talk to you with respect and they don't clown and joke around with you like they do the rest of these goofies, they spot that. They spot the way that a man approaches you, speaks to you, respects you, honors you. You may not even pay attention to it on that capacity because you're not, you know, these men are not in your radar or anybody for that matter, but they peep that because they're always watching. And so it's like the je ne sais quoi that you have, they just look like, well, what the fuck is it about her? Look at how she dresses, look at how she talks, look how she doesn't even talk. That's another thing. Look how quiet she is and this bitch is dumb. They always think we're dumb, you know. Unfortunately, divine feminines, we're always classified as dumb by these broads, right? Because that's how stupid they are. That's what they want to project upon us, but it's not true. And all this type of shit, and they get very upset at the fact of the quality of people that we do attract and the quality of life we have as well.
Eves are fighting for the scraps of attention from safe men. You are inadvertently signaling to the kings, and this makes you a threat to the survival of the tribe. So,
There's a song by Jesse Boykins III. Oh, it's on the Bartholomew album. I can't remember which name of the song is. But he said um, there was a woman, what up, Hot Power Wig, that how did the song go? He said that there's all the girls wanted him. Buenos dias. All the girls wanted him, but there was one woman that just was not sweating him. Like she wasn't paying him no attention like the other women were giving him all the attention. And so he wanted her. So he wanted to know who the hell she was. And I've also heard this before with a trans woman that was in prison, that was in jail, excuse me, and was like, all the boys liked her, all the boys want her. But you see how the biological of that male biology still came out of that trans woman and said all the boys wanted her. All the boys in the jail was sweating her and think sure she was the finest, sexiest thing there. And he said, and she said that there was one guy that never paid her no attention, like never sweat her, never complimented her, never did anything. And so she would be in the bathroom with, try to sneak in the bathroom with her, try to, you know what I mean, be in the bathroom together or try to do everything to get the attention. But as we know, this is a trans woman, so biologically that's a male. So that shows you in the male's energy that they are attracted to what it doesn't want them. Okay, this is true. Men at work tell me they admire my confidence, but in reality, I'm just indifferent. I keep an eye out though. Right. Because you just, that's the thing. It has nothing even to do with sexuality or anything like that. It's a matter of who you are as a woman. You're not impressed by the male species because it doesn't matter. There's a lot of women who identify as lesbian or whatever, and they still be sweating men. They still pick me's. They still will be in a man's face and want a male's attention. So it doesn't matter. And but when you are divine feminine, you fulfill yourself. You know people. That's really the reality of a divine feminine. You know people, but you also can identify. Yes, yes, a man can very much envy you. But see, that was a trans woman, so that was a whole nother type of energy. Oh yeah, when you are a single woman, I totally agree. Rule number one. That's why I need to write this stuff down. I need to write this stuff down. Never befriend anyone that's married when you're a single woman. They're going to resent you. They're going to low key try to shame you. They're going to try to pull you into their retarded life of cooking and cleaning all day. They're going to want you to do that too. If she's not good looking or her self esteem is low, she wants you to be in that realm with her. It's really fucked up. I say don't do it. And it's so deep because even in your family life, if you are single and your siblings are married or even your own mom or whatever, you can't be around them either. They don't, yes, they will ostracize you. They will try to make you feel some type of way for how you're living your life. They'll be very, very envious of you. Very envious of you, especially if you don't really date and bring people around, or you don't date with the intentions of wanting to even, like, yeah, because it's not the same frequency. It's, you can't even have a deep conversation with a woman that's married. Like, it's not the same frequency. All right, let's go.
The next time you are left off a guest list. The next time conversation stops when you enter the break room. Do not internalize it as a flaw. Recognize it for what it is. It is a boundary drawn by fear. It is the inevitable clash between the domesticated and the wild. You have been trying to apologize for your nature. You have been trying to shrink yourself to fit into a space that is too small for your soul. Stop it. You cannot ask the wolf to bark like a dog just to make the neighbors feel comfortable. They are rejecting the archetype, not the person. And in doing so, they are giving you the greatest gift possible. They are setting you free. Because if you were accepted by the herd, you would have to obey the herd. But since you are exiled, you get to make your own rules. Now, let us flip the coin. We have discussed why the Eves reject you. Now, let us discuss why the kings cannot take their eyes off you.
Let's go.
There is a fundamental law of attraction that modern dating advice ignores. Polarity. Most women think that to attract a man, they need to be visible. They need to be the life of the party. They need to be surrounded by friends, laughing loudly, posting stories of their squad, proving to the world that they are popular. They think this signals, I am high status. People like me. To a high-value man. This signals the opposite. To a man who understands power, a woman who needs an audience is a woman who needs validation. And if you need validation from a group of other women, you are emotionally expensive. Enter the lone wolf. Enter the Lilith. Picture the scene. A room full of noise. Groups of women are huddled together, performing the ritual of sameness. They are checking their phones.
Do you remember it was Cinderella, and I think it was Pride and Prejudice? I'm not going to act like I actually watched that movie all the way, and I need to, but remember in Cinderella how everybody was trying to impress the king or the prince? It wasn't the king, right? He was a prince, right? They was trying to impress him, all the sisters and all the stuff they were doing. And Cinderella didn't do a damn thing, but just be herself and just be there. You see what I'm saying? I remember Cinderella was very ostracized in her life, very isolated, very pushed to the side, right? I just want to throw that out there.
They are looking around to see who is watching them. The energy is frantic. It is scattered. And then there is you, sitting alone, walking alone. You are not looking at your phone to hide your anxiety. You are sipping your coffee. You are reading a book. Or perhaps you are just staring out the window, completely lost in your own internal world. You are calm. You are contained. You are the void in a room full of noise. Do you know what happens in a man's brain when he sees this? His pattern recognition software crashes. He stops scanning the room and he locks onto you. Why? Because of the psychological law of scarcity. What is available to everyone is valuable to no one. The woman in the group belongs to the group. To approach her, he has to navigate the gatekeepers. He has to deal with the hive mind. It is exhausted. But the woman who stands alone belongs to no one. She is an unclaimed territory. And biologically, men are conquerors. They are drawn to the unclaimed like a moth to a flame. He looks at you, and the questions start firing in his mind. Who is she? Why is she here by herself? Is she waiting for someone? Is she sad? No, she doesn't look sad. She looks complete. She doesn't need anyone to entertain her.
My son said to me when he was 9 years old, he asked me a question. He said, "Ma, what am I to do if I go to the club and I see a girl sitting at the bar by herself? How don't I know if I will approach her and her boyfriend might come and beat me up?" He was 9 years old asking me this question. I said, well, first of all, just sit back and watch for a little bit, just observe, you know what I'm saying, and see if anybody comes in there or she's meeting somebody before you approach her. He said, what if I don't have no money? I said, if you don't have no money, then son, you shouldn't be in no woman's face. And his expression was like, what? But I never forget those little intricate questions that I get from them because, for him to be such a little child to ask that question, it shows that it's in their biological makeup to be intrigued by something that is just not interested in nobody in the room because they're so used to being in a space with pygmishas and women who are just goofy and doing fucking love me Olympics.
This is the birth of obsession. You see, obsession cannot grow in the light. It grows in the dark. It grows in the unknown. Because you are not broadcasting your personality to a group of friends, you become a blank canvas. You become a screen onto which he projects his deepest fantasies. He doesn't know you yet, but he has already decided that you are different. He imagines that you are deep. He imagines that you are intellectual. He imagines that you are dangerous. He projects his anima, his ideal inner feminine, onto your silence. If you were sitting there gossiping about reality TV with 3 other girls, that projection would be shattered instantly. He would put you in the box of just another girl.
That is so funny. Is that part not the funniest part? Don't these bitches love reality TV? Do not these bitches love reality TV? They can tell you, yo, these bitches, yes, like these bitches really be going in on reality TV. They be like, you should watch it. You need to watch it. You should watch it. I'd be like, nah, I ain't watching that shit. And then if you watched it before, yo, ain't nothing changed. It just gets worse every time. Girl, stay projecting. I had a woman say to me one day, she was talking, she was like, I'm tired. I'm tired of, being in a relationship. She like 50, swimming 50 something years old. I'm tired of being in a relationship and somebody hiding me and not telling me. I don't want to deal in a relationship where, you're not putting me out there for the world to see. I don't want no and I'm sitting here looking like, I hear you, but I can't relate to that shit. Okay, I can't relate. Like, don't talk like I was listening because I was at work. I don't care about people at work, but I was listening. I was like, man, don't fucking talk about that shit. Like, I can relate to you, bitch. Ain't nobody ever hit me. Shit, tell me how to do that, cause motherfuckers be ready to run and say we in a relationship on fucking Facebook. We ain't the same, and that's what they want. They want to try to pull you down into they fuckery. Like, bitch, my life ain't yours.
But because you are silent, you could be anything. You become the muse. And then there is the signal of high value. In the animal kingdom, prey animals move in herds. Sheep, deer, zebras. They bunch together because they are afraid of being eaten. Predators move alone. Tigers, panthers,
Oh,
wolves. When a woman is comfortable,
that makes so much fucking sense. You heard that? I never paid that any attention like that. Predators do move alone. Yo, can I let me hit again, y'all? I get fascinated with this. They ain't even
move in
did
herds.
all that work.
Sheep, deer, zebras. They
I could have
bunch
mopped that
together because they are afraid of being eaten. Predators move alone.
out. I see what
Tigers,
I'm gonna clean it down.
panthers, wolves. When a woman is comfortable in her own solitude, she is subcommunicating a powerful message.
Mm-hmm.
I am not prey. I am emotionally self-sufficient. I do not need the protection of the herd to survive. This is the ultimate aphrodisiac for a king archetype. A weak man, a beta, will be intimidated by this. He will think you are stuck up. He will think you are unapproachable. He will run back to the safety of the giggling group. Good. Let him run. The filter is working. But a strong man, a man who carries his own burden of power, he sees a peer. He sees an equal. He knows that a relationship with a
That's what we are. We are predators. Have you seen the nature of a falcon, bro? A falcon knocks out its opponent before it eats it. And before it does that, it can see 10 times better than us. I envy the sight of a falcon. I wish I had the sight of a falcon, bro. Yo, that shit was fire, bro. That was a beautiful observation of nature, right? Wow. Wow. Shout out to Bob Barney's for sending this, bro. She be coming with that fire, man. I gotta rewind this back a bit. Let's go.
aphrodisiac for a king archetype. A weak man, a beta, will be intimidated by this.
That's right.
He will think you are stuck up.
Uh-huh.
He will think you are unapproachable.
Uh-huh.
He will run back to the safety of the giggling group.
Yep.
Good. Let him run. The filter is working. But a strong man, a man who carries his own burden of power, he sees a peer. He sees an equal. He knows that a relationship with a dependent woman is draining. He has to constantly reassure her, constantly entertain her, constantly validate her.
Yep.
But when he looks at you, he thinks, here is a woman who can handle herself. Here is a woman who doesn't need me to be her father. She needs me to be her lover. He respects you before he even speaks to you. Because in a world of followers, the person who walks alone is the only one who looks like a leader. He wants to be the one to break your solitude. He wants to be the exception to your rule. He wants to be the only person allowed inside your walls. This is not just attraction. This is conquest. So, the next time you feel awkward for sitting alone, straighten your back.
I never got into the nature of whales. They were never like an animal that ever intrigued me like that. I got into the nature of a shark. You said whales are predators that hang in groups, though. I didn't know whales were predators. See, I learned something. The person who is so good at animal life is my stepdad. I swear I can still to this day ask him about animals and he knows anything. He always said he's a Taurus. He always said it was a gift of his. Like he said, even since he was a child, he could just tell you anything about an animal. And it's because of him that I'm into like animal life like that. I always loved the tiger. That was the most intriguing animal in the world to me, was that tiger. I just love the way the tiger hides behind the bushes and leaps at your ass. Love that shit.
Slow down your breathing. Look around the room with the eyes of a predator, not the eyes of a victim. Realize that you are holding the most powerful card in the deck. You are not lonely. You are exclusive. And the right man is dying to pay the price of admission. So, he has seen you. He has respected you. He has approached you. But now, we must answer a deeper question. Why does he stay? Why does the lone wolf woman create a bond that is almost impossible to break? It is because of the scarcity effect. In economics, value is determined by scarcity. In relationships, intimacy is determined by exclusivity. Think about the average woman, the Eve. When a man dates an Eve, he is never just dating her. He is dating her entire committee. He is dating her mother's opinions. He is dating her best friend's judgment. He is dating the group chat that dissects his every text message. There is constant noise. There is constant interference. Her energy is diluted. It is scattered across a dozen shallow connections. She gives pieces of herself away to everyone she meets. When he is with her, he feels crowded. Even when they are alone in a room, the ghost of the collective is always there.
I This is what I don't like about simps and beta males. They actually, oh sure, share your theory. Let me type that in the room. What I don't like about, you know what? I'm gonna just go ahead and keep going. Cause the women. Let me tell y'all something. I'm gonna put it like this. Explain. So, oh, I get what she's saying. No, I get what she's saying. But explain for people, especially explain for the audience, for the people on the outside listening, because I get you. For the audience, am I going to spell audience correctly? Absolutely. Women are trained to be Eves, to be sexually accessible. Right. That's the whole, I didn't want to go there. That's what the whole trans non binary thing is about. Okay? That's what the whole thing is about. It's about for us to be sexually accessible. That's what the whole thing, that's the whole purpose of what it's about. And I knew that because I was like, as soon as the trans men started transitioning, now they're fucking men. And I to this day cock a side eye at that. You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, y'all end up fucking men anyway. So what was the purpose of becoming a man if you were identified as a lesbian woman? You see what I'm saying? And I don't get caught up in titles, but you get what I'm saying. Like that always throws that always threw me. It don't throw me no more. Cause at work they cheating on each other, but they think myself all they, but I think to myself, yes. See what I'm saying? So that was the purpose of what that was about. And this is why I'm saying, like these pick niches, they are like they're always grouped up. Like they work together. Like the neighbor was saying that she went to the house of one of the co-workers and shit. Like, why? Why are you doing that? You see what I'm saying? Why are you doing that? They can't be trusted at all. They always got slick ass mouths. They talk too fucking much. They say the dumbest shit. And I look at men who deal with these women, I look at them sideways. Because you know what? A lot of them, they don't respect them. Because one time she had her boyfriend or something in the car, and he said something to me like, oh, you see that button right there pushing. I was like, the child safety lock? Why didn't you just say that? Like, I don't like shit like that, nigga. Just say the child safety lock. I know what the fuck the child safety lock is. Nigga, piss me off. And then when she talking to him, she all cussing and shit. I'm like, bitch, why is you loud and cussing? They extra as fuck. Copy and paste motherfucking hoes, bro.
Whispering in her ear. He feels like he has to compete with her social life for her attention. Now, think about you, the Lilith. You do not have a committee. You do not have a hive mind. You have focus. When a man earns the right to enter your world, he realizes something terrifying and beautiful. He is the only one inside. There is no noise. There is no static. When you look at him, you are not looking through the lens of what your friends will think. You are looking directly at his soul.
Before we get to his soul, I have to say this as a sidebar. In women and women relationships, where it gets very draining is that you're lucky if you attract a woman who's isolating and that stays to herself, because when it comes to a lot of those relationships, it's too enmeshed. There's always some bestie, there's always some ex-girlfriend that's still around, there's always some guy friend, there's always some questionable guy friend. And in these dynamics of relationships, because you can, you're not getting away from being around a pick me because you're with women. I want to make that clear to y'all. If not worse, because there's a lot of women who are pick me's for women. And they're loud and extra. They still hold the same person. A pick me should, like, even if she's supposed to be straight, if that woman holds enough masculine energy and she's good looking and she can use her or get some kind of affection and attention from her, she's gonna take it and be like, I'm not gay or whatever, but that's what she does. She's ridiculous. Let's go.
Your attention is undivided. It is a laser beam. And for a man, this kind of focused feminine energy is a drug. He feels a profound sense of relief. He realizes, I don't have to perform for an audience here. It is just me and her. The intimacy becomes instantaneous and deep because there are no distractions. You become his secret garden. Most men live lives of public performance. They have to be the strong leader at work. They have to be the stoic provider at home.
Let me say this before we get to that. Yo, hop out with a woman said, Russian big sister said she's doing an emotional subscription once a month, like to ask him how he feel about her. Yo, that shit had me tickled, bro. I wrote it down, but that shit had me tickled. I said, yo, that's what these bitches be doing. It be an emotional subscription. What are we? How you feel about me? Do you love me? Why you never tell me that you love me? Yo, mad crazy work, bro.
They are exhausted from wearing the mask. But with you, the woman who understands solitude, he can take the mask off. He can rest in your silence. This creates a dynamic of us against the world. Because you are an outsider, and he, as a high-value man, often feels like an outsider at the top. You form a tribe of two. You become his sanctuary. He knows that whatever he tells you stays in the vault. It won't be screenshotted and sent to a group chat. It won't be laughed at over brunch. Your loyalty is absolute because your circle is closed. This is why men become addicted to the difficult woman, the lonely woman, the intense woman. They are not addicted to the drama. They are addicted to the depth. The Eve offers him fun. She offers him social proof. She offers him a normal life. But she cannot offer him sanctuary.
And this is the battle when you're dealing with a male, or you're dealing with anybody. Honestly, with anybody you're dealing with as a divine feminine, this is the battle that they're going to have. They're going to be with you because they called out for something better in their life, right? And you are that thing that's better in their life. But what happens is they want to hold on to the pygmisha and the mammy. And a lot of times it's not that they're holding on to it. These are the women that they have been around. And so therefore it's not easy for them to break from that and be all the way into you.
Only the woman who has mastered her own solitude can offer a man a place to hide. He knows that if he loses you, he cannot just replace you. He can find another girl to go to parties with. That is easy. But where will he find another woman who holds the keys to his inner world? Where will he find another woman whose silence feels louder than everyone else's noise? He realizes that you are a limited edition, and this triggers the
And this is why it goes into the energy of the male that you're dealing with, because if you're dealing with a beta and a simp, no, a Lilith woman is mean. She's too quiet. That's the number one thing about a beta and a simp. A Lilith woman is too quiet for them. She don't talk enough for them. She don't show enough energy for them. You understand what I'm saying? That's the real issue with that. That's why I make it clear that we gotta talk about the simps and the beta males and the trans women. I'm gonna throw them in there too. Okay, we gotta talk about them. They they do not have the frequency to line up with a Lilith. It's the alpha male who has his business, the alpha male who actually knows himself, that has some type of spiritual intelligence. He can be with her. And the masculine woman who has that spiritual intelligence, she can be with her. What does that sound?
the deepest fear a man can have, the fear of losing the only person who truly sees him. This is the power of your isolation. By removing the competition, by removing the noise, by removing the crowd, you have made yourself irreplaceable. You are not just a lover. You are the witness to his life. And a man will burn down the world before he lets his witness walk away. We have talked about the rejection. We have talked about the seduction. But now, we must talk about the purpose. Why has the universe isolated you? Why, no matter how hard you try, do you always end up back here? Alone in your room, alone in your thoughts. You might think this is a punishment. You might think you are cursed. You are wrong. This is not a curse. This is the laboratory. In the ancient tradition of alchemy, the first stage of transformation is called nigredo, the blackening. Before lead can be turned into gold, it must be broken down. It must be burned. It must be separated from all impurities. Psychologically, this is what is happening to you. Carl Jung called this process individuation. Individuation is the brutal necessary journey of becoming who you actually are, rather than who the world told you to be. And here is the hard truth that no one tells you. You cannot individuate in a crowd. You cannot hear the voice of your own intuition when you are surrounded by the noise of the collective. You cannot find your own North Star when you are busy following the herd. To build a queen, the universe must first remove the peasantry. It strips you of the false friends. It strips you of the shallow validations. It strips you of the groupthink. It places you in a vacuum. Why? To force you to face the one person you have been avoiding, yourself. Most people are terrified of silence. If you put an Eve in a room alone for 3 days, she will panic. She needs the mirror of other people to tell her she exists.
Eve can't even sit alone. I watched it. Eve can't even sit at a lunch table by herself. She can't do it.
But you are being trained to be a dark empath. You are being trained to sit in the void and not flinch. This solitude is your incubation chamber. Think of the caterpillar. When it enters the chrysalis, it does not just grow wings, it completely dissolves. It turns into a chaotic soup of genetic material before it reassembles into a butterfly. Right now, you are in the goo. It feels lonely. It feels dark. It feels like you are dying, but you are not dying. You are molting. You are shedding the skin of the good girl. You are shedding the need for approval. You are shedding the fear of abandonment. And in that silence, something new is being born. Sovereignty. Sovereignty is the state of being a supreme ruler of your own internal kingdom. A sovereign woman does not need a squad to back her up. She does not need a consensus to know what is true. She knows because she has spent years sitting in the darkness, sharpening her intuition like a blade. This is the source of your power. The reason you have such deep insight, the reason you can read people instantly, the reason you have that X-ray vision we talked about, is because of your isolation. You have spent more time observing than performing. You have spent more time analyzing than blindly agreeing. Your loneliness was the tuition you paid for your wisdom. So, stop looking at the groups of laughing women with envy. They have belonging, yeah.
And also, let me add to you, these women, they don't have a sense of self-reflection. What if you've been betrayed by one of these women, you have to understand that she was marrying you. She was trying to make it seem as if she didn't have friends like that. She don't talk to people like that. She made it seem as if, she lived a very isolated life as you, but she doesn't. She doesn't live that way. That's why she comes around you to try to mirror you, to try to see if you're just weak and you just don't come around people because you don't know how to handle people, you're not strong enough. That's how they think. And this is why, as a Lilith woman, or the daughter of Lilith, right, you have to stand strong in who you are. You eventually develop something where you know how to speak a certain way, because when you speak a certain way, you're very disturbing to Eve's daughters. You're very shocking because of your wisdom and how you speak and the things you know, and even the people you know will shock people, because that's how isolated that you are. That's how much you don't put yourself out there, and that's how dumb they are too.
Yes. But they do not have selfhood. They are safe, but they are asleep. You are alone, but you are awake. Do not rush to fill the void. Do not try to escape the laboratory before the experiment is finished. Hold the tension. Let the heat of the isolation burn away everything that is not you. Because when you finally emerge from this, you will not just be a woman who fits in. You will be a force of nature. You will be the gold that survived the fire. We have analyzed the psychology. We have accepted the archetype. Now, we must execute the strategy. Knowing you are a Lilith is useless if you are still acting like a rejected Eve. You are still walking into rooms hoping they will like you. You are still apologizing for your presence. It is time to stop acting like an exile and start acting like a monarch. Here are the 4 steps to wear your isolation like a crown. Step 1. Stop auditioning. For your entire life, you have walked into social situations with the energy of an applicant at a job interview. You smile too much. You nod too much. You laugh at jokes that aren't funny. You are subconsciously begging, please, let me in.
And let me tell you something else to my divine feminines, because that's what the Lilith is the divine feminine. It goes to the lesson I told you when I was at the expo, and I was like, damn, I was talking too much. Damn, I should have just walked up to the table, read the paperwork, had my clipboard, respectfully said hi to everybody, and not really talked unless necessary. These people, you have to keep a poised, serious demeanor about yourself as a divine feminine, because that's the only way you're going to get what you want and get respect. I think they're knocking on it.
Please tell me I'm okay. Stop it. Immediately. When a queen visits a village, she does not ask the peasants if they like her outfit. She simply arrives. From today, you are done auditioning for friendship. If there is a silence, do not rush to fill it. Let it hang. If they don't invite you, do not ask why. Assume you were overqualified for the event. You must flip the script in your own mind. You are not the one being judged.
Oh, absolutely they
You
are.
are the judge. You are not looking for their approval. You are assessing if they are worthy of your energy. The moment you stop trying to be picked, you become the chooser. Step 2. Embrace the villain arc. Because you are quiet, because you are observant, and because you are self-contained. People will project their insecurities onto you. They will call you stuck up. They will call you cold. They will call you intimidating. The old you would try to fix this. You would rush to prove, no, I'm actually really nice. The sovereign you does not correct them. She leans into it. If they think you are arrogant, let them. If they think you are a bitch, let them. Why? Because explaining yourself is a submission signal. Only the guilty explain themselves. The innocent and the powerful do not care. Let them misunderstand you. Let them create rumors. Rumors are just free PR for your legend. The more they whisper about you, the more mythological you become to the men watching from the sidelines. You want to be the woman who is hard to get to. Let their judgment be the electric fence that keeps the wrong people out. Step 3. Cultivate your garden. While the Eves are spending 10 hours a week at brunch, talking about other people's lives. While they are scrolling through social media, checking who liked whose photo. You have a massive advantage. Time. Solitude is a currency. Spend it wisely. Use your isolation to build your empire. Read the books, they are too busy to read. Build the body, they are too distracted to build. Start the business, they are too afraid to start. Make your internal world so rich, so fascinating, and so lucrative that you genuinely do not want to leave it for low-quality company. When you finally do step out into the world, you should not be looking for entertainment. You should be bringing the entertainment with you. You are not looking for a vibe. You are the vibe. Step 4. The velvet rope policy. You must accept the mathematical reality of being a Lilith. You are not for everyone. You are caviar. You are an acquired taste. Most people prefer pizza. Pizza is cheap. Pizza is easy. Everybody likes pizza. Do not try to be pizza. Accept that your pool of friends and lovers will be small. This is not a bug. It is a feature. It is the velvet rope. High-end clubs do not let everyone in. That is what makes them high-end. Stop trying to lower the bridge for people who cannot swim. If a man wants to be with you, he must learn to navigate your depth. If a woman wants to be your friend, she must be secure enough to stand next to your fire without trying to put it out.
Yep. And that's not like, I'm gonna tell you the real as a divine feminine. Your closest homies are gonna be the ones that y'all don't even know each other like that. Y'all don't know each other's birthday. You know, y'all benefit from each other. Y'all homies. Y'all know y'all care about each other. Y'all there for each other if y'all need to. As a divine feminine, you gotta operate like a dude. Like your relationships, your, you know, we don't have friends, but if you're gonna put the term friendships, we operate as dudes. We don't talk to each other like that. We don't text each other all the time. If we do, we sharing information. If we want to hang out together, we do. We be like, man, what's good? I ain't heard from you in a minute. All right, boo, all right, what up? we catch up when we catch up, when we talk on the phone, we talk on the phone, be like, all right, bro, I gotta go. Like, all right, go ahead, like, see you. Like, it's a whole different dynamic of how you have to build these kind of connections, because these other broads, man, they too goddamn enmeshed. They too enmeshed. They want to talk every day. They want to see you every day. They want every day, because the reason is that's how they want to monitor you. That's why they want to be up under you. They want to monitor you. They want to monitor your life so they can just find something to get in the way of.
Do not dilute your essence to increase your numbers. It is better to eat alone than to eat poison. It is better to walk alone as a lioness than to run in a circle as a sheep. Wear your exclusivity with pride. The right people, the kings, the alchemists, the fellow wolves, are looking for you, and they will only find you if you are standing in your true power, alone. Let us be clear about one final thing. The path of the Lilith is not easy. There will be nights when the silence feels too loud. There will be moments when you look at the Eves, laughing in their groups, safe in their conformity, and you will feel a pang of jealousy. You will wonder if the price of authenticity is too high. In those moments, I want you to remember this. The air is always thinner at the top. The higher you climb, the fewer people can breathe with you. Eve has company. She has safety. She has the approval of the tribe. But Eve is asleep. She lives.
This is begging the stallion. All of those Eves coddling her, going after Clay, right? Megan the Stallion. No one, coddling her. Oh, she needs to love herself. She needs to be alone. Coddling her. People coddling spiritual whistleblower, she's never been told she was beautiful or loved. And that's the problem. Just coddling these fucking grown ass women. And as a divine feminine, you don't do that shit, because you understand you reap what you sow, and you understand that things don't happen to people for no reason or without reason. And so you don't feel sorry for people. And you damn sure don't feel sorry for Pygmisha or the Mammy.
Lives in a cage with the door wide open, too afraid to walk out. Lilith has worship. She has the wind. She has the wilderness. She has the stars. And she has the devotion of the king who was brave enough to follow her into the dark. You were never meant to be a friend to everyone. You were meant to be a muse to the few. You were never meant to be liked. You were meant to be respected. Do not trade your sovereignty for a seat at a table where you have to shrink to fit in. Do not lower your frequency to meet them. Stay high. Stay cold. Stay dangerous. Let the right ones climb to reach you. You are not lonely. You are untethered. You are not rejected. You are hidden, waiting to be discovered by someone with the eyes to see. The throne is a solitary chair. It was never designed for a crowd, so sit in it. Adjust your crown, and let them watch you reign from the distance. If you are ready to stop apologizing for your power, if you are ready to accept the solitude of the sovereign, then seal your pact in the comments below. Write the mantra that will define your new reality. I walk alone, but I walk with power. Let the world know that you are no longer waiting for an invitation. You are the destination.
Let's go.
Alright, my sweet girls, come closer. Yes, you. If you click this video, it's because something feels off and you're trying to be the cool, understanding woman, while your intuition is banging pots and pans in the background screaming, girl, wake the hell up. Today we are talking about signs. He is emotionally immature, and by the end of this video, you are going to stop gaslighting yourself, stop mothering grown men, and finally understand why you feel so damn tired all the time. I'm going to be funny, a little mean in a loving way, very honest and extremely protective of you. I will swear, because sometimes English needs seasoning. I am Russian woman. My English is good, not perfect, like many men's emotional development. But I see patterns clearly, and I love you enough to tell you the truth, not the Disney version. So buckle up, Big sister is driving. First thing you must understand is this. Emotional immaturity is not always loud. Sometimes it's not tantrums or yelling or cheating. Sometimes it's quiet, passive, confusing. It's the man who technically does nothing wrong, but somehow you're always anxious, always explaining, always adjusting, and somehow you end up feeling like the difficult one for wanting basic adult behavior. If you feel like you are dating someone emotionally younger than you probably are. Emotionally immature men don't know how to sit with discomfort. They avoid conversations, they shut down, they joke when things get serious, they disappear when accountability shows up, and the worst part, they often look very charming on the surface. They can be fun, attractive, successful even. But when it comes to emotional responsibility, they fold like cheap chair. Let me tell you a movie story because Hollywood accidentally tells truth sometimes. Remember 500 Days of Summer? Everyone loves to debate that movie. But here's what I see. Tom is emotionally immature. He projects fantasy onto Summer instead of seeing who she is. He avoids reality. He avoids responsibility for his own expectations. And then he's shocked when she doesn't play the role he imagined. That's emotional immaturity, not evil, just underdeveloped. Now let me bring it closer to your life. If every serious conversation turns into you comforting him, explaining things gently like he's 5 years old, or apologizing for having feelings, you're not in relationship. You're in emotional daycare. And I know some of you are saying, but he had trauma. Baby, many people have trauma and still learn how not to hurt others. Trauma explains behavior. It does not excuse refusing to grow. Here's a red-pilled truth that might sting a little. Emotionally immature men are often very good at benefiting from mature women. They love your patience, your empathy, your ability to self-reflect. You become emotional buffer for both of you, and they just stay the same. You start carrying conversations, carrying plans, carrying emotional labor, carrying the relationship like heavy grocery bags, while he walks next to you empty-handed saying, "Wow, you're so strong." No shit, you had to be. And listen, before I go further, do me a favor. Like this video, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Because if you're dating emotionally immature men, consistency is what you need to hear until it sinks in. This channel is your big sister voice when you're about to make excuse again. Back to it. Emotionally immature men often confuse intensity with intimacy. They rush in, love bomb, then panic when things require depth. 1 minute he's obsessed, next minute he's distant. And you think, what did I do wrong? Nothing. He hit his emotional capacity ceiling. This is where many women stay stuck because they remember the beginning. They keep chasing the version of him that showed up briefly, like a pop-up shop that closed permanently. And this connects very smoothly to our last video, how to know when to leave your relationship. Because emotional immaturity is one of the biggest reasons women stay too long hoping something will evolve that has no intention of evolving. Let me pause here and say this. If you want coaching, real guidance on your specific situation, the link is in the description and pinned comment. I don't judge you, I don't shame you, I just help you see clearly. Now here's something you might not want to hear. Emotional immaturity shows up strongest when you need him, when you're sick, when you're stressed, when you need support instead of fun. If he minimizes, disappears, or gets annoyed when you're vulnerable, that's not bad timing. That's bad emotional capacity. A grown man does not feel threatened by your feelings. He feels responsible for how he shows up to them. Emotionally immature men also hate consequences. They want forgiveness without change. They want understanding without effort. They want access without responsibility. And when you finally get tired, they call you dramatic. Let me translate that for you.
Hold on.
You stop tolerating bullshit.
She usually gets cat food. That's seafood. That's seafood. It has to be fish. It has to be salmon. She does not eat anything else. Yes, seafood. Yes. Okay. Okay. Thank you. All right. Bye. Yeah. Yeah.
And that made him uncomfortable. In the middle of this video, let me remind you about something important. our Patreon video, how to make anyone.
Let's go back. There's a lot of women, if you are not checking your parental issues, it's going to show up through whoever it is that you say that you like and that you're going to date. Your mommy issues doesn't just come up with a woman. Your daddy issues could come up through a woman as well. Okay? And so on and so forth. So this is why you need to understand and know what is an emotional motherfucker. Immature or emotionally immature motherfucker. What are signs of emotional immaturity? Put that in your notebook, learn that, and learn it more so for yourself. Where are you emotionally immature and grow up with that as well?
Come closer. Yes, you. If you click this video, it's because something feels off and you're trying to be the cool, understanding woman, while your intuition is banging pots and pans in the background, screaming, "Girl, wake the hell up." Today we are talking about signs. He is emotionally immature, and by the end of this video, you are going to stop gaslighting yourself, stop mothering grown men, and finally understand why you feel so damn tired all the time. I'm going to be funny, a little mean in a loving way, very honest and extremely protective of you. I will swear, because sometimes English needs seasoning. I am Russian woman. My English is good, not perfect, like many men's emotional development. But I see patterns clearly, and I love you enough to tell you the truth, not the Disney version. So buckle up. Big sister is driving. First thing you must understand is this. Emotional immaturity is not always loud. Sometimes it's not tantrums or yelling or cheating. Sometimes it's quiet, passive, confusing. It's the man who technically does nothing wrong, but somehow you're always anxious, always explaining, always adjusting. And somehow you end up feeling like the difficult one for wanting basic adult behavior. If you feel like you are dating someone emotionally younger than you probably are. Emotionally immature men don't know how to sit with discomfort. They avoid conversations, they shut down, they joke when things get serious, they disappear when accountability shows up, and the worst part, they often look very charming on the surface. They can be fun, attractive, successful even. But when it comes to emotional responsibility, they fold like cheap chair. Let me tell you a movie story because Hollywood accidentally tells truth sometimes. Remember 500 Days of Summer? Everyone loves to debate that movie. But here's what I see. Tom is emotionally immature. He projects fantasy onto Summer instead of seeing who she is. He avoids reality. He avoids responsibility for his own expectations. And then he's shocked when she doesn't play the role he imagined. That's emotional immaturity, not evil, just underdeveloped. Now let me bring it closer to your life. If every serious conversation turns into you comforting him, explaining things gently like he's 5 years old, or apologizing for having feelings, you're not in relationship. You're in emotional daycare. And I know some of you are saying, but he had trauma. Baby, many people have trauma and still learn how not to hurt others. Trauma explains behavior. It does not excuse refusing to grow. Here's a red-pilled truth that might sting a little. Emotionally immature men are often very good at benefiting from mature women. They love your patience, your empathy, your ability to self-reflect. You become emotional buffer for both of you, and they just stay the same. You start carrying conversations, carrying plans, carrying emotional labor, carrying the relationship like heavy grocery bags, while he walks next to you empty-handed saying, "Wow, you're so strong." No shit, you had to be. And listen, before I go further, do me a favor. Like this video, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Because if you're dating emotionally immature men, consistency is what you need to hear until it sinks in. This channel is
Y'all, what's up? What's up? It don't matter. It don't matter. As long as it's seafood, it don't gotta be fancy. It don't matter the brand, baby girl. Text them.
Is your big sister voice when you're about to make excuse again. Back to it. Emotionally immature men often confuse intensity with intimacy. They rush
You should not be more mature than the person you are in a relationship with. I that is where you will waste energetic time. As a divine feminine woman, you're going to get frustrated at the complete infancy of spiritual infancy. You're going to get very frustrated. It's not for you. Don't do it to yourself as a divine feminine. You have to go high, and you have to stick to your high, because you're going high for yourself. You're building standards up for yourself. You're building your accolades. You're getting your certifications. You're going back to school. You're doing a lot of things. You're taking books and studying. So that person needs to be, yo, I want to understand this mask. And I noticed that she's wearing the gold mask. Yeah. Because I don't think, did he have on a gold? I don't know. I have to watch the movie to tell you what was going on, because, and take my notes from the movie. But yes, V for Vendetta. But I just, yeah, but this mask right here, because when you look at the eyebrows and you look at that beard, it looks like the infinity symbol. It's called the lemniscat, which is the infinity symbol. Yeah, that's the first thing I noticed on the face. And then that line with the T, you see the T at the bottom. There's definitely some symbolism in this mask, but they said this mask comes from the 1600s. But if you know anything about people in those times, a lot of them were in the Golden Dawn initiates. A lot of them were Masons. A lot of them were into the occult practices. So once I saw that number, I was like, oh, yeah. There's some symbolism to this mask. Because did you see the mask that he wears versus the mask that she wears? Like, look at his mask. See that? It looks very similar, but notice he's smiling. See what I'm saying? He has a bit of a sly smile on his face over her mask. See that? She doesn't have a smile on her face. She's kind of just, it's like a glance at you. Yeah. Let's go.
in, love bomb, then panic when things require depth. One minute he's obsessed, next minute he's distant. And you think, what did I do wrong? Nothing. He hit his emotional capacity ceiling. This is where many women stay stuck because they remember the beginning. They keep chasing the version of him that showed up briefly, like a pop-up shop that closed permanently. And this connects very smoothly to our last video, how to know when to leave your relationship. Because emotional immaturity is one of the biggest reasons women stay too long hoping something will evolve that has no intention of evolving. Let me pause here and say this. If you want coaching, real guidance on your specific situation, the link is in the description and pinned comment. I don't judge you, I don't shame you, I just help you see clearly. Now here's something you might not want to hear. Emotional immaturity shows up strongest when you need him, when you're sick, when you're stressed, when you need support instead of fun. If he minimizes, disappears.
One of the biggest things that happened to me when being with a masculine woman, even though she doesn't like to identify, she doesn't identify herself as a stud, she's in denial of that. Being with the stud is that when my children came down, she disappeared or there was a reason she wouldn't come over, and she would make excuses to never meet my family. But the main thing was when my children came down, it was always some problem she would cause with me, and I would peep that. Like, why is she, like every time they come to visit, she makes a problem to come see me. And so, that right there, now I learned, like, that's a sign. Somebody who doesn't want to deal with what you have, besides that, that's a sign of someone who just doesn't care, and someone who's very emotionally selfish. Because even when I had things I was going through and I wanted to talk about it, like really talk about it, it was like, she's like, oh, you're gonna have to go to therapy for this, or talk to a therapist about it. And it's like, but we're together and I'm trying to talk to you. So those are the kind of little things that you go through with people who are emotionally immature.
Or gets annoyed when you're vulnerable, that's not bad timing. That's bad emotional capacity.
Well, there it
A
is.
grown man does not feel threatened by your feelings. He feels responsible for how he shows up to them. Emotionally immature men also hate consequences. They want forgiveness without change. They want understanding without effort. They want access without responsibility. And when you finally get tired, they call you dramatic. Let me translate that for you. You stopped tolerating bullshit, and that made him uncomfortable. In the middle of this video, let me remind you about something important. Our Patreon video, How to Make Anyone Want You, just dropped. And no, it's not manipulation. It's about presence, self-respect, and energy. Emotionally immature men are allergic to women who know their value. That video helps you step into that. Now, sarcasm time. If you feel like you have to teach him how to communicate, how to apologize, how to empathize, how to show up, congratulations. You are dating a group project partner who does nothing and still expects A+. And I know you love him. I know you see potential. I know you think if he just healed, if he just tried, if he just understood. But potential is not a relationship. It's a fantasy. Emotionally mature men don't need to be begged to care. They don't need to be threatened to grow. They don't need ultimatums to show consistency. Towards the end of this video, I want you to comment something honest. Comment, I'm done parenting men. If that sentence makes you nervous, that's your answer. And when you're done watching, I really want you to binge our Big Sister playlist. It's built for this exact awakening phase. One video is not enough to undo years of conditioning. Now let's talk about you, because I don't want you leaving here feeling hopeless. I want you feeling empowered. You are not too emotional. You are emotionally aware. You are not asking for too much. You are asking the wrong person. You are...
See, this is the thing. When you have people who have shows that says providers are disgusted by your independence, once again, we're dealing with energy that is going to cause confusion for the women. A provider is a provider. Okay, I wouldn't say that they're disgusted by your independence. Any divine being that's going to be with you understands your independence.
not crazy for noticing patterns. You are smart for questioning them. Emotionally immature men often make women doubt themselves because the woman is doing all the emotional work. That's why you feel exhausted, confused, and stuck in your head. Homework time. Yes, you get homework because self-respect needs action. This week, observe how often you are the one initiating emotional repair. How often you're the one explaining, smoothing over, forgiving first. Just observe without judging yourself. Then write down how you feel after interactions with him. Not what you think, what you feel. Drained or grounded, anxious or calm, small or expanded. And finally, ask yourself one brave question. If nothing changes, would I be proud of myself for staying? That question is not meant to scare you, it's meant to free you. Now I want to end this with pep talk, because I love you and I want you leaving on high note. You are intuitive, you are loving, you are capable of deep, adult, healthy connection. And there are men who can meet you there, but you don't find them by shrinking for boys who refuse to grow. You don't need to harden your heart. You just need to protect it better, Big sister is proud of you for watching this, for learning, for questioning, for choosing yourself one step at a time. You are not behind. You are waking up. Now go drink some water, straighten your spine, and remember this. You are not asking for too much. You are just done settling for too little. Welcome to your Russian big sister. On this website, you can choose between different coaching options depending on how deep your situation. Alright, my sweet chaotic angels, come here. Sit down. Put phone on table. If you clicked a video called Why Men Only Get Emotional Clarity During Total Absence and Why This Is Good. Congratulations. You are either exhausted, confused, or finally ready to stop chasing men like unpaid intern. This video will explain why men suddenly realize their feelings only when you disappear, why this is not romantic miracle, and why this is actually very good news for you. I am Russian woman. My English is good, not perfect, like most men's emotional awareness. But you will understand me. I am your big sister now, which means I love you deeply, and I will still call you out when you act stupid for love. Today we talk about absence, silence, vanishing. The thing women are terrified to do, but secretly powerful at. You think if you disappear, he will forget you. No, baby, he finally meets you. For first time, without noise. Let me be very clear early so you don't misunderstand and cry later. Men do not process emotions the way women do. They don't sit and journal feelings. They don't talk it out while eating ice cream. They understand emotion through consequence, through loss, through space, through impact. While you are present, available, explaining, forgiving, waiting, he does not feel clarity. He feels comfort. Men get emotional clarity only when stimulus is removed. Like child who doesn't notice toy until toy is gone. Not because he's evil, because male psychology is object permanence mixed with ego and delayed emotional processing. Yes, I said it. And yes, this is why absence works. Now before you turn absence into manipulation game, listen carefully. This is not about punishment. This is about truth. Absence removes confusion, yours and his. When you are always there, always responding, always explaining your needs, you create emotional background noise. He doesn't have to.
Girl, you know what I'm gonna tell you? I appreciate I I appreciate the wisdom. Okay? I appreciate all of the wisdom from her and X Pimp and whoever else is out there because these motherfucking people made me step up my game. See, that's why I always appreciate people who are not American, man. They always win, bro. When it comes to intelligence, psychology, people analysis, man, I learned the best from them, man. They are fucking just impeccable with that shit, man. The level of depth that these people have.
To confront how he feels because you are doing emotional labor for both of you. When you disappear, suddenly silence gets loud. He feels contrast, presence versus absence, value becomes visible only in vacuum. Let me tell you a movie story, because Hollywood accidentally teaches psychology sometimes. Think of the breakup with Jennifer Aniston and Vince Vaughn. They argue, they nag, they negotiate, they coexist miserably. No clarity. Only when she leaves, when apartment is empty, when silence hits, does he finally feel weight of loss. Not during talking, not during fighting, during absence. That's when emotion lands. And women hate this because we want clarity through conversation. Men get clarity through space.
Yes. When they are alone and you're not there, that's when they get the realization. That's why prison is here. That's why jail is set up. That's because for men, you know, for them, that's they need that in order to realize what they've done to another human being. Like even if you have boy children, you have to. I remember I tell you all the time. The youngest one, the dad will be like, "I had to put his ass in jail." That was his words. I had to put his little ass in jail. And I always thought that was so interesting that he would use those words. It was like that was the only way that he could calm the fuck down and realize what he was doing to other people around him. See what I'm saying? So yeah, this is a powerful one. Listen, y'all.
This mismatch destroys many relationships. Big sister truth now. If a man needs to lose you to realize your value, that doesn't automatically mean he deserves you back. It only means absence did its job. Clarity doesn't equal change. Absence is good because it reveals everything. It reveals whether he misses you or just misses convenience. It reveals whether he steps up or replaces you. It reveals whether connection was real or just comfortable. When you stay, you protect him from consequences. When you leave, reality punches him in face. And reality is best therapist men have. Let me be spicy for a second. Women who refuse to disappear stay confused forever. Women who disappear get answers fast. Maybe not answer they want, but answer they need. And listen, absence is not silent treatment. Silent treatment is manipulative and childish. Absence is self-respect. It's you choosing not to overfunction in connection where effort is one-sided. You don't announce it, you don't threaten, you just stop showing up where you are not met. Now quick pause because algorithm also needs love. Like this video. Subscribe to channel. Hit notification bell so you don't miss next big sister intervention. This helps other women wake up faster and stop embarrassing family emotionally. Do it now. Okay, back. Men only get emotional clarity during absence because presence allows them to postpone decision. As long as you are there, he doesn't have to decide. You are holding space. When you leave, decision arrives whether he invited or not. And this is why absence is good for
This is deep because there's a lot of women who are married and they don't live with their spouse. Like they do not live with him. Like this called LT damn LTA, living together apart. And it does exist. And when you think about the male psyche, well, this is the psyche of human beings, but the male psyche in general, the male psyche cannot be enmeshed like that. It needs to get out. It needs to be away. It needs to miss you. You know, the pick me's and stuff. They have a very enmeshed psyche. They can be up under somebody all day. They can be in somebody's face all day. They can be on the phone with somebody all day. I saw that with my mother and stepdad. Like she would be on the phone with him all day, every day. Okay. And the thing I had to learn with that is, you know, I try people who are fucking workaholics. Like they're busy. When when they're at work, they don't really want to be bothered like that. The only time you can call them is when they have the time to talk to you. They don't want to be bothered unless it's their break, if that. Like they're very serious at work. They're very serious about the work that they do. I don't have people around me that I could just be up on the phone with them like that at work and just be lounging like that. But these pygmishas, they're enmeshed. They need constant, frequent attention. And they're even worse when they're in a relationship because they constantly need more of that. And it was a man who said, you know, if you were a man, you need to tell him what you need. You need to tell him you need flowers and all this and that. And it was a guy on the Kendra G show yesterday. Remember, he had said, you know, I'm not here to give you women all this fantasy stuff and flowers and all that stuff. And I don't think nothing was wrong with him even saying that. But she made it seem like he wasn't shit because he was like, I'm not cutting down your tree. Why didn't you cut down your own tree before I got there? And she made it seem like he wasn't shit. But I don't think that was the case with that man at all. He was a very honest man and they could not handle it. They can't handle that level of honesty.
for you too. It stops you from bleeding slowly. It forces you to detach from fantasy and look at behavior. Absence removes hope built on words and replaces it with actions. Now I know some of you saying, but what if he doesn't come back? Baby, that's clarity. Painful clarity, yes, but clarity. And clarity saves you years. Let me weave this gently. If a man only wants you when you are gone, but not when you are present, what he wants is feeling, not partnership. He misses how you made him feel, not responsibility of loving you. And before you panic, remember this. A man who truly values you does not need to lose you permanently to choose you. Temporary space might wake him up. Total absence reveals his true capacity. This connects directly to our last video, the only thing that works with a male narcissist. With narcissistic men especially, absence is the only language they understand. Explaining feeds ego. Silence starves it. If you haven't watched that yet, watch it next. It will make everything click. Middle of video, important reminder, if you want help navigating this without spiraling, I do one-on-one coaching. Link is in description and pinned comment. Use code RBS10 for 10% discount. Coaching is for women tired of guessing, tired of emotional chaos, tired of being strong alone. You don't need to white knuckle this. Also, very important, our Patreon video, How to Make Anyone Want You, goes deeper into attraction psychology without manipulation or self-betrayal. If you want to understand why some women are effortlessly chosen, that video is fire. Back to absence. When you disappear, man goes through stages. At first relief, then curiosity, then irritation, then self-reflection, then longing or dismissal. Where he lands tells you everything. And don't confuse delayed clarity with sudden love epiphany. Some men come back not because they realize love, but because silence injured ego. That's why absence must be paired with standards. Otherwise, you become yo.
What up, Bob? Thank you for that video. That was an excellent video you sent. Uh, Bruh, I was shocked to find that it's common for women to emotionally cuddle each other in their friendships. I thought it was normal to deal with your feelings alone. Yes, here's the thing about that. Thank you for that comment. The reason women do that because women are trauma bonding agents. They look for other women to trauma bond with. When I had that situation with a family member that I was going to make it through this operation or they're not. And I was sitting down in my life and accepting the fate of that person. I couldn't do nothing about it. And so when they thought that this family member of mine was going to not be here no more because their mother was actually unalived through an accident. And so therefore she was trying to trauma bond. The moment that she realized that that didn't happen, I can sense a bit of the resentment towards me. These bitches are weird like that. And it was one woman, she always cooked. My cooking style was through the air fryer, or I just didn't really do anything. I would just eat ramen because I don't eat food to that capacity. Because it's like, I just can't eat food like that, you know? And so I can sense that she was getting upset and trying to manipulate and all this kind of stuff because she wanted someone to cook with her while she was cooking because she had to cook for her family and spit. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of these broads are weird. They're groupies, literally, and they always gotta like they have this way of just trauma bonding with each other as a way of building their friendships. They're too enmeshed. Everything is too personal. Oh, girl, she shouldn't be saying that to you. And why? Because I used to wonder why with the neighbor when she would talk to me, like I'll just be like, I'll say one or two things as an adult would do, right? As a grown woman would do. I don't get caught up in that shit. All right. Okay, I'm gonna have to share the screen again. 1 second, y'all. Or do I have to share the screen again? Yeah, I do. Okay, let me go ahead, organize it. How I want the screen to look. Not like that. A little too much going on with that one. Okay. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. I see y'all. Post nut clarity was not the last comment. It was Bob. Okay. Yes. So women are very they emotionally coddle each other. Yes. And then one of them get a boyfriend and disappear. Get a girlfriend and disappear. That's how they are with one another. It's it's really, yeah, it is normal to deal with your feelings alone. But see, understand that these pygmishas and mammies, the thing about them is they always gotta have a group of people. It's a song by Genuine and it's a modern day one, and it goes, "It ain't none of your friends' business if we had sex tonight. Long as we protect ourselves and do it right, it ain't none of your friends' business. What we do is none of your friends' business." And then there's another song by Jesse Boykins III. It goes, "It ain't none of your friends' business when we fuck. It ain't their business." You understand what I'm saying? And that's the type of shit these pick Mishas and mammies do. They talk too much. And they get upset when you don't have nothing to share, when you don't talk about what you got going on, who you date, or what you do. The neighbor was talking to me about birth control. I was looking at that bitch crazy. I was like, I don't know. I can't help you. Bitch, I can't help you. Yeah. Yeah. Genuine. Yeah. So a lot of times they try to make you what they are and they don't like. I'm trying to tell you, bro, these bitches are weird. That's why you got to get away from them. They try to make you what they are, and when they see you are nothing like what they are, they don't like you. You know how much flap I got for losing weight, like really going back to my weight and fucking putting on makeup? You know how much hate I got at that job? Do you know how much hate I got from the neighbor? Like, she tried to come at me on some like, "Oh, you've been wearing it for 3 days," and I'm like, "And I'm gonna keep on wearing my makeup. Oh, I wouldn't wear it here. I can." The fuck, bitch, weirdo, fucking weirdo that date fucking jailbirds. Who would ever think that you would wear makeup? And then when she put it on, she didn't know how to wear makeup or do her hair. Exactly. Now that she got a divorce, now she wanted. I don't have no friends. I got homies. And I fuck with my homies heavy. Like heavy. Those are my homies. I got one. Shout out to you. We'll talk for hours. I let them know how much time I got with you, because we be talking. We be vibing hard. Sometimes I be reading from fucking notes and shit. Like, but I love talking to that friend, like that person, like that, because we vibe like that. And the other one, we get into like conversations about her woman ventures, but we get into deep conversations too. The other homie in the West Coast, I don't even know where she at. Right. She said their relationships are ridiculous. Get away. Go away. Get away from them. Their relationships are so toxic and ridiculous, and she's super delusional. Oh, I got it. Okay, yeah. Girl, super delusional and shit, bro. Yeah, that's what it's about. What's this topic again? Oh,
Yo. Absence is mirror. It reflects who he is when you are not managing relationship for him. Let me be clear and loving. You disappearing is not about making him chase, it's about giving yourself space to breathe, recalibrate, and remember who the hell you were before anxiety became personality. Women are taught to stay, explain, nurture, fix. Men are taught to act when something is gone. That's not fair. But it is reality. Fighting reality exhausts you. Using reality frees you. Near end now, so listen closely. Absence works because it restores polarity. Desire needs space.
We see this all the time. Something at work happens, somebody says something about somebody, or somebody says something about a woman. And so she confronts the man. Hey, I heard somebody said this about my job and that I was doing this and that, and I ain't got time. The last time I got into it, I went off. I would clean off. I was like, yo, I don't appreciate people doing that. I don't appreciate people lying, harassing me, like whatever the hell was going on. And I was talking to another manager or whatever, and I was like, I don't got time. I don't got time for this shit. I was already pissed off. I was already at the edge. But I noticed that women, if you say something about her job, what she do, whatever, she go try to run and defend herself. Just found out my other friend is pregnant, and she told me she might die. I'm like, why getting this text? Am I planning to go to baby shower or bitch, you about to have a baby and you about to die. Wow, how fucking selfish is that? How fucking selfish is that? And she, see what I'm saying? Just texting you with that bullshit. So somebody could coddle her dumb ass. Just dumb shit. She's gonna die because she's pregnant. She's not supposed to be pregnant. See, this is the dumb shit they be on. This is the dumb shit they talk about. Like I said, the neighbor, the bitch, I can't help you with that. The fuck? You can't figure that out. Oh, I don't want to be pregnant. Bitch, you can't figure it out at 40 something years old. You can't figure this shit out. They're little kids, bro. They little preteen girls and shit. Teenagers and shit, bro. Well, don't what I tell you about 40? What have I been telling you the longest, high powered wig? 40 ain't no motherfucking joke. 40 ain't no motherfucking joke. You understand me? You better grow up. You better get it together. You better wise up. Because 40 ain't no motherfucking joke. Yeah. And is she no marriage? No husband? No solid relationship? Yeah, her ass gonna get kicked in 40. You can't be doing shit like that in 40.
Respect needs consequence. Love needs choice. And here's where you comment, because I want conversation. Comment below and answer honestly. When was last time you disappeared instead of explaining? And what happened? Your story might help another woman make brave choice.
86 should be. Oh. Oh, did they just turn 40 or 39? Oh, whoa. See, it be that fuckery. It be that fuckery with these bitches. Men don't have no respect for these bitches, bro. Just none. A fiance. Well, we about to see how that shit play out. You want to see if you want to be going to a baby shower or a funeral for real, bro. Damn, they all 40. Damn, he did turn 40. Oh shit. He turned 40 years old this year. That's wild. That's why. That makes so much sense.
Toward end, I want you to binge our playlist. The Big Sisters gives you dating tips to not make family look bad. Watch it like series. Each video strengthens boundaries, intuition, self-respect. This is how you
I saw women on TikTok. We gotta jump on this topic. I saw women on TikTok who were breaking down, and the bitches was like, I'm 40 years old and I have not done nothing with my life. Okay. I am 40 years old and I have been doing so much with my life. It's just time to make things more grounded and solid, from blogs, from radio shows, from meeting people, from interviewing people, from having certain people come on my show, from video recording stuff, from doing video editing, from doing music stuff, from shit. I was even working on an album. From I had a band. Uh, books I've written, but I never published. Like, I have so much that I have done, but there's so much I need to complete. And I learned now to build a team. Yeah. Please, no, do not, no. No, she cannot move in with you. Absolutely the fuck not. I mean, it's your choice if you let her, but I say absolutely the fuck not. Yeah. So I just have things that I have to make more solid. Like, I have my team of people I work with. I have a manager. Now I have a director, right, to work with. And then I'm gonna have a build official photographer to work with. Oh yeah, I don't. Yeah, yeah. We no. That's why in the divine feminine in the divine feminine school, we're talking like adults. Okay, we're talking like adults, so you can dig and do your own shadow work. It's But even when you deal with money, this is what people I've learned too. The business of money is still the business of dealing with people. This is why people who are high value people, they always talk to everybody in the room. They know that everybody has something. Somebody is a client, somebody's a customer. I ain't encouraging nothing. Shit.
stop chasing clarity and
Not that I'm saying that to you. I'm just saying, like, I agree. Like, facts.
start attracting it. Now, homework. Yes, homework. Big Sister assigns homework because growth needs action. This week, practice intentional absence. Not dramatic, not announced. Just stop overgiving. Stop initiating where effort is not returned. Observe how your body reacts. Anxiety is withdrawal, not intuition. Write down what silence reveals. His actions, your emotions, patterns you ignored. Then do one thing daily that reconnects you to yourself. Walk, gym, creative work, friends. Remind nervous system that life exists outside waiting. Finally, promise yourself this. You will not chase clarity at cost of dignity. You will let absence speak. Now pep talk, because I love you and I will not leave you heavy. You are not hard to love. You are not asking too much. You are asking wrong men too little of themselves. The fact you're learning means cycle is breaking. Absence is not abandonment, it's alignment. And when right man meets your absence, he doesn't panic. He steps forward. I'm proud of you, truly. Strong women scare weak men and inspire strong ones. Keep going. Now go watch next video. Big sister watching, family watching, don't mess this up.
Well,
Welcome to your Russian big sister. On this website, you can choose.
this is exactly what we are discussing here about the Pygmisha and the Mammy in the Divine Feminine School. Is the purpose of this segment is for us to be better and continue to be better and not feel shame for being better, because that's what people try to do. They try to shame us for being better. They try to shame us because we read books, because we educate ourselves, because we want to stamp our passport, we want to get a passport and travel the world and know people and know the world. They want to shame us for this. They want to shame us for dumb shit, like the fact that we don't engage in a Diddy documentary or a fucking a Love and Hip Hop episode when we're doing what we're supposed to be doing as divine beings. We're supposed to be elevating ourselves. We're supposed to be growing. We're supposed to be gaining wisdom day by day. It's wisdom that you want. An elder taught me years ago. He said, listen, the one thing you want in life as you get older is wisdom. You want wisdom. And I agree. You do want wisdom. I appreciate all the wisdom that I have, because these women have no wisdom. They have no sense of self. They have no self reflection. That's why they walk around here projecting and trying to manipulate and do all the dumb shit they do, because they're insecure and their relationships suck. These men don't give a fuck about these women. They just use them. They just use them. I listen to these conversations. I can tell from the way that you can tell from the way these men respond to these women to the way they respond to you as a divine being. He'll just watch you and squint his eyes, like he knows that you're different. He knows that you're nothing like her. And he also knows that she's hateful and jealous of you, but something about you, you're not dumb, you don't care. That's what he begins to see. Like, oh, she don't care. She's using her up just the way I'm using her. And she just going on with her life. She's not engaging with her. She's not trying to fight her. She's not trying to talk nothing slick back to her. She don't give a fuck. And so that's what it is. It just being pitiful, yes, being sorry because people coddle them. Megan Thee Stallion is going to be with another man. It's going to be the same old fuckery. It's just going to be more coddling her. She's been coddled. Nobody, whenever somebody was speaking the truth to her or about her situation, everybody jumped on their ass. Like, don't talk about Megan. Like on some beehive type shit. Like, don't talk about Megan. There's an article about how Gen Alpha and Gen Z use ChatGPT for life advice. And I thought that's how you know the elders aren't giving them any wisdom. We don't trust them. I'm a millennial. We don't trust Gen X and boomers. They're not, I mean, boomers are not even reading. What kind of wisdom does that motherfucker have? Maybe how to put a garden together, right? Maybe how to drive. But as far as true life wisdom, man, they ain't got shit for you. A lot of them still at their old ass age don't know how to read. The one woman I dated, her mother's in her 60s. She said, my mom don't know how to read. Bitch, why? Who attractive? Oh, you talking about the pick me shit, the man me? Hell no, none of them are attractive. But the thing is, Chat GTP, man, they done shut Chat GPT down. It ain't what it used to be no more. You really got to pay for your subscription now. And you only can use it for a certain amount of hours unless you pay. And I'm like, damn, bro, they done fucked up Chat GTP. That was my little secret thing I had for years. I was on Chat GTP from the start. Before it got advanced, I was on Chat GTP. But now I can't even be on Chat GTP because they fucked it up. Yeah, they are functional for work. They're just good employees. Well, Megan Thee Stallion's situation was like homie said, I did a show on that too. He was like, yo, she was seasonal. And then a comedian was like, well, if ain't no man
and a voice response, because sometimes you need to hear tone, not just read words. This also includes one follow-up question and is delivered within 24 hours. If you have multiple small questions, there is Ask 2, get one free for $70. You submit 2 quick answer questions and the third one is free. Yes, free. Don't argue with me. And if you prefer audio only, there is Voice Note for $95. This is a private audio response to your situation, delivered within 24 hours. No follow-up included, just clear direction. That's it. No tricks, no confusion. Choose what fits your situation, click Ask me your question, go to the cart, check out, and I'll take care of the rest. I'm not here to judge you. I'm here to tell you the truth and help you move smarter. All right, my beautiful little disaster flowers, come here. Sit, don't scroll, don't multitask. Big sister is talking. I'm Russian woman, English good but not Oxford. And today I'm saving you years of confusion, tears and late night voice notes you later regret. Topic is 3 real reasons why men will hide their deep feelings for you. And yes, I said real, not Instagram bullshit, not fairy tale, not what your girlfriends tell you while refilling wine. I'm going to tell you why men go quiet when they care, why they suddenly act confused, and why some of you accidentally make it worse while thinking you're being loving. Here is what you will get if you stay. You will understand male psychology without demonizing men or yourself. You will stop chasing emotional clarity from men who are internally panicking. You will learn how to respond in a way that actually brings feelings forward instead of burying them. I will roast you, hug you, swear a little, and by the end, you'll feel calmer, smarter, and way more powerful. Deal? Good. Buckle up, princess. First thing you must tattoo on heart. Men do not hide feelings because they don't have them. They hide feelings because feelings feel unsafe to them in that moment. Unsafe to their identity, their control, their future, or their ego. Men are taught from birth that emotions are liability. Women are taught emotions are currency. Big difference. Let me tell you a story from movies so your nervous system understands. Remember Drive with Ryan Gosling? That man barely speaks. When he feels something for Carey Mulligan's character, he doesn't confess, he doesn't gush. He withdraws. He becomes more controlled, more quiet, more intense. Why? Because caring raises stakes. And when stakes rise, men don't talk more. They lock down. That silence is not lack of feeling, it's containment of it. First real reason men hide deep feelings is fear of losing control. When a man realizes he's emotionally invested, he feels exposed. His rational brain screams, "This woman now has power to hurt me." So what does he do? He pulls feelings inward. He becomes guarded. He may even act distant or casual to regain internal balance. This is not game. This is self-protection. And here's where Big Sister slaps you gently. Many women see this withdrawal and think, I need to talk more, explain more, feel more together. No, that's like chasing cat with vacuum cleaner. You escalate emotional pressure when he is trying to stabilize, so he hides deeper. Second reason men hide feelings is because they don't trust emotional safety yet. Listen carefully. Emotional safety is not you being nice, it's you being regulated. If every vulnerable moment turns into interrogation, future planning, or emotional explosion, his subconscious learns to keep feelings locked. Men open emotionally where they feel accepted, not analyzed. This connects perfectly to our last video, Men Fall in Love with Your Emotions. If you haven't watched it, go after this one. Because men don't open from logic, they open from how emotions land. If being honest leads to drama, pressure, or tears every time, he will choose silence. That doesn't mean he doesn't care, it means he's managing risk. Third reason, and this one hurts, men hide feelings when they're unsure they can meet expectations that come with those feelings. When a man realizes he likes you deeply, he also imagines responsibility. Can I provide? Can I commit? Can I be enough? If answer inside is shaky, he hides feelings instead of admitting insecurity. Men would rather be silent than say, I'm scared I can't give you what you deserve. Now pause. Breathe. This is not about you being too much. This is about him facing internal standard. But here's where red pill truth comes. If you respond to his hesitation with pressure, ultimatums, or emotional collapse, you confirm his fear. He thinks, see, I can't handle this. So he retreats further. Midway pause, because if you're still here, you're smart. Like the video. Subscribe. Hit notification bell. Do it now so you don't miss next roast love session. Okay, good. Quick practical interruption. If you're sitting there thinking, how the hell do I navigate this without losing my dignity or becoming cold? That's what I help with. One-on-one coaching is available. Link is in description and pinned comment. We work on emotional responses that keep attraction alive without self-betrayal. You don't need to guess alone. Also, since we're being honest adults, our latest Patreon video is number 1 truth successful escorts know that most wives don't. Before you gasp, it's about male psychology, not selling soul. It explains emotional leverage and why some women get devotion while others get comfort zone. If you want truth without sugar, that's there. Back to lesson. Let me say something loving and harsh. Some of you confuse emotional intimacy with emotional access. Just because a man feels deeply does not mean he's ready to express it out loud. Expression is stage 2. Feeling is stage 1. If you demand stage 2 before stage 1 stabilizes, you blow it. Men open when they feel respected in their pace. Not rushed, not shamed, not compared to exes or TikTok standards. Respect is aphrodisiac to male vulnerability. And here's mistake I see constantly. Women say, I just want honesty. But what they really want is reassurance. Men feel that. They feel the weight of expectation behind question. So instead of answering honestly, they protect peace by saying nothing or something vague. Silence becomes shield. Let me be clear. Silence is not always rejection. Sometimes silence is man holding, feeling carefully, like something fragile he doesn't know how to carry yet. Now let me roast again. If every time a man opens a crack emotionally, you jump into future fantasy. Where's this going? What are we? Do you love me?
Hold on,
You
y'all.
train him to associate honesty with pressure. That's how men learn to hide feelings. Not because they're evil, because they're overwhelmed. This is why emotionally mature women are dangerous in best way. They can hear vulnerability without exploiting it. They can sit with uncertainty without bleeding anxiety everywhere. They don't punish honesty with panic. Towards end, I want you to comment something brave. Comment and tell me which one you think you've experienced most. Men pulling away, men going silent, or men acting casual when feelings deepen. Be honest. Your answer tells you where work is. Now let me lift you up, because I'm not leaving you in existential dread. You are not unlovable because men hide feelings. You are not too intense. You are not asking for too much. You are just learning how masculine emotional processing works. When you stop taking silence personally and start responding strategically and calmly, men feel safer to open. Watch this video again if needed. Then go binge the Big Sister Gives You Dating Tips to Not Make Family Look Bad playlist. It's built exactly for this. Each video fixes one blind spot, so you stop repeating same heartbreak with different face. Homework time, pay attention. For next week when a man pulls back emotionally, don't chase explanation. Regulate yourself first. Notice urge. Breathe. Let him come to equilibrium. Second, practice responding to vulnerability with calm acceptance, not escalation. Simple responses. Warm, no pressure. Third, check your expectations. Are you asking him to process emotions like woman? If yes, adjust. That's not fair to either of you. And finally, build life that doesn't wait on male validation. When you're emotionally full, men feel less pressure and more desire to step forward. Now pep talk because you deserve it. You are not broken. You are learning advanced emotional intelligence most women never master. Men don't hide feelings because you're weak. They hide because feelings are strong. And when you become woman who can hold emotional space without squeezing it, men don't just open, they attach. I'm proud of you. You're here. You're listening. You're growing. That already puts you ahead. Go be warm, be calm, be grounded. Let men reveal themselves in time. Big Sister sees you. and you're doing just fine. Welcome to your Russian big sister. On this website, you can choose between different coaching options depending on how deep your situation is and how fast you want me to respond. I answer every single question myself. No assistant, no copy-paste nonsense. Just me, my brain, and your situation. Because many of you are asking questions at the same time, I usually respond within 2 to 3 days. I don't disappear, I don't ghost, and if for some reason I take longer than that, you get a refund. Simple. I'm Russian, not shady. To purchase coaching, you click Ask Me Your Question. You write your situation, don't hold back, don't be dramatic, just be honest. Then you go to the cart in the top right corner, check out, and you're done. After that, I take it from there. Now let me explain the options, so you choose what actually fits you instead of wasting money. If you want something quick and direct, there is Quick Answer for $35. This is one short written response to one question. Straight to the point, no follow-up. You get it within 48 hours. If you want something more affordable and you don't mind helping others learn, there is Public Answer for $25. I send you one carefully crafted strategic response by email, and I may use your situation as a public lesson. Don't worry, I change details and keep your identity completely confidential. This one is delivered within 72 hours, and there is no follow-up. If you need more depth because your situation is messy or emotional or confusing, choose Full Response for $65. This is a longer written breakdown of what's really going on, plus you get one follow-up question. This one is delivered within 24 hours. If you want me to really go in, like Big Sister with tea and truth, there is Deep Dive for $125. You get a detailed written breakdown and a voice response, because sometimes you need to hear tone, not just read words. This also includes one follow-up question and is delivered within 24 hours. If you have multiple small questions, there is Ask 2, get one free for $70. You submit 2 quick answer questions and the third one is free. Yes, free. Don't argue with me. And if you prefer audio only, there is Voice Note for $95. This is a private audio response to your situation, delivered within 24 hours. No follow-up included, just clear direction. That's it. No tricks, no confusion. Choose what fits your situation, click Ask Me Your Question, go to the cart, check out, and I'll take care of the rest. I'm not here to tell you the truth and help you move smarter. Alright, come here, sit down. Let Big Sister talk before you go texting him something stupid like, just checking in. I swear, if I had $1 for every woman who did that, I'd retire on a yacht in Greece already. Today we're talking about something that hurts your pride a little, but heals your soul a lot. How men start regretting the woman they took for granted. And no, this is not some fantasy where he cries outside your window in the rain like in bad rom-com. This is the real, psychological, slow burn regret that sneaks up on him when you're already moving on and glowing and not giving a single fuck anymore. In this video, I'm going to explain why men don't regret you when you're begging, why they don't regret you when you're explaining your feelings for the 50th time, and why they almost always regret you too late. I'm going to tell you what actually flips the switch in his brain, why silence hits harder than arguments, and how you accidentally delay his regret by being nice. Yes, I said it. Being too nice is ruining your life. Welcome. Before we start, quick thing. Our latest Patreon video is called You Didn't Lose Him, You Lost Yourself Trying to Keep Him. If this topic hits you in the chest already, that video goes even deeper and a little more brutal, in a loving way. Link is where it always is. Alright, back to business. First, I need to pop a fantasy bubble, gently but firmly, like I'm slapping your hand away from a hot stove. Men do not regret women the way women regret men. Women regret emotionally and immediately. Men regret intellectually and later, very later. Like when you already cut your hair, changed your life, and forgot his middle name. When a man takes you for granted, it's not because you're not enough. It's because you became predictable, safe, always there, always understanding, always available. And before you start screaming at the screen, yes, I know society told you that being patient and loyal and loving would be rewarded. Society also told us low-rise jeans were a good
Hold on,
idea.
y'all.
Sometimes society is stupid. Men value
My motherfucking what's the name happened. God damn it. My whole chat room is gone. How did that? That's never happened before. My whole fucking chat room is gone. Are we back? I'm so mad. At least I kept. What's going on? Why am I here acting like a... I gotta come back. This shit crazy.